Chapter 653. It was noisy the whole way. Fong Ping only remembered something when he was halfway there. Old Qin, where is it? What? Don't pretend. We agreed. Qin Fengqing's face was gloomy. Fong Ping had done nothing but promise to compensate him if he lost. The key was that he didn't lose. But now he was going to take half of it. He couldn't bear to. Just a divine weapon and a stalk of dark moon grass. And those energy stones. Fong Ping added. Qin Fengqing was about to vomit blood. He said gloomily, "You have a mine. You already have a F** King Big mine. And you're interested in my meager mine?" Fong Ping said seriously, "Even blood brothers should settle their accounts clearly. If you lose, then I have to use my life essence to make up for your hole. Since we've agreed on it, of course, we have to split it all." A mosquito's leg was still meat. How could there be a reason to complain about having too little meat? Qin Fengqing felt even more helpless. He said, "I'll give you all the energy stones, give me the dark moon grass. And the divine weapon, 10 billion divine weapons, 5 billion dark moon grass, and 300 million energy stones per caddy. You have about 10 caddies here. How about this? The divine weapon will be one share, the dark moon grass, and the energy stones will be the other. Which one do you want?" Qin Fengqing rolled his eyes and said helplessly, "Fatty said he wants a share too." "Then I just want the dark moon grass. I can't cut off Fatty's line. Then what you? If you can't do it, you can sell the divine weapon. It's enough for you to cultivate." Qin Fengqing grew even more gloomy. He tossed an energy crystal box to Fong Ping and scolded, "You're so evil. You're so rich that you won't even let go of such a small amount of money." "Nonsense. Is 5 billion a small amount? Your family's money is worth 5 billion? Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. He put away the dark moon grass and watched as his wealth increased by 500,000 points. He felt pretty good, although this bit of wealth was not even enough to fill the gaps between his teeth. It was still money. 5 billion. Just a mouthful. Fong Ping muttered in his heart. He was getting a little too full of himself now. But at least he managed to make up for the wealth that old Qin had used up during his cultivation. Previously, in order to help Qin Fengqing, he had used up about the same amount. He couldn't just let it out and not take it in. Wealth, 198. 6 million points vitality. 17,500 calories. 17,888 calories. Mentality, 2,100 hertz. 2,199 hertz. Power of destruction. Bones honed, 177 bones, 100%. 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus. Energy barrier, 1 point/minute plus aura simulation, 10 per minute plus. Out of more than 200 million wealth points previously, Fong Ping spent 45 million to upgrade the storage space and 5 million to repair the materialized objects. King Huai wants to kill you the moment he sees you. If he kills you the moment he sees you in the Forbidden City, that's even worse. Sigh. Fong Ping let out a long sigh. In this big world, in the land of two realms, there's actually no place for me anymore? Then should we go to the bounded zones in advance? Wang Jinyang pondered for a moment, saying, "It's better not to go in advance. If we go in advance, we'll cause a huge commotion in the Shishan catacombs. This place is adjacent to the Forbidden City War. If a battle between the sacred battleground breaks out, that won't be good. Either we go after the Forbidden City War ends, or we go at the same time. They fight their battles, we find ours." Fong Ping looked indignant. Old Wang was saying this now. If we go, a battle between the sacred battleground will break out. What are you thinking? Then we can only wait until the Forbidden City War starts, or ends before we can go? Yes. Then what do we do next? Fong Ping said, helplessly, if we go to the catacombs, we're afraid of causing trouble. But if we don't go, how can we improve our strength quickly? I think this Forbidden City war will only start after a while. We can't just sit around these days. Beside them, Qin Fengqing finally had a use for his skills. He quickly interrupted, saying, I know a good place. Guys, how about we take advantage of this time to do something? You're a bandit? Do you want to do something no matter where you go? Fang Ping glared at him. You don't deserve to be an instructor in MCMAU. You're a disgrace to the school. Qin Fengqing ignored him and chuckled. This time, I'm not a bandit. I'm a good guy. Do you remember when I made deals with the evil sect martial artists? At that time, I killed some catacombs martial artists and sold the hearts of the evil sect martial artists in the black market. Later, that black market was wiped out. But it's not like there were no traces left. I met some casual martial artists at that black market. Recently, someone contacted me and said that a black market has opened up again. Fang Ping, this must be the evil sect's black market. Let's go and get rid of them. Not only will we do a good deed and kill the evil sect martial artists, we can also gain something. Don't forget, at the beginning of the year, you were almost killed. After that, the vice-chancellor killed some of the evil sect's high ranks, but you didn't personally take revenge. Are you going to let it go just like that? Fang Ping muttered, It's a small black market. How much money can there be? A bunch of black markets that target the 3 lower ranks. There are also 3 middle ranks. That's not a lot of money. Fang Ping waved his hand. Actually, we won't get anything good by wiping out the black market. Besides, what we need is not this bit of extra income, but to find powerhouses to fight. Not to mention, it's still necessary to get rid of some evil sect martial artists. Cleaning up these fellows on a regular basis is also something that every department does. Actually, I've always been curious about who the evil sect's boss is. It's at least a rank 9 martial artist. As for Sino Nation, excluding Axe King, there are only 35 rank 9 martial artists. Among the 8 people in Stellar Sky City, 3 of them are on the list. That's a total of 40 rank 9s. Sino Nation has a total of 40 rank 9s. This target group is not big, but as mentioned before, the evil sect is global. However, Sino Nation is also a major area for evil sect activities. There should be rank 9s operating here too. Why don't you guys guess, among the 40 rank 9s, who is the boss of the Sino Nation region? Or maybe there's even a paragon as the boss. Not interested. Li Hansong was not very interested. He said, Why don't we rest for a few days and cultivate on our own? When the Forbidden City War starts, we'll gather again. Fang Ping saw that they were not interested. It seemed that only Qin Fengqing was interested. Suddenly his interest waned. He said, Forget it then. The evil sect doesn't seem to be showing up recently. Let's not care about them. If Qin Fengqing is interested, he can go and take down the black market himself. It just so happens that if those resurrected martial artists from Stellar Sky City come, I can still make arrangements in the university. As they chatted, they arrived at Magic City at night. Halfway there, Old Wang had already run away. In this regard, Fang Ping felt that it was still necessary to persuade Old Wang. NMU was so weak, he might as well give up. Of course, he knew that Old Wang would not agree. He still had feelings for NMAU. Moreover, if Fang Ping really persuaded Old Wang to give up NMAU, Zhang Dingnan, the governor, would fight Fang Ping to the death. September 13th, MCMAU knew that Fang Ping had returned. There was no other reason. On the southern area's crystal tower, there was an additional figure. The sun had just risen. Fang Ping stood on the top of the crystal tower, looking around. Not long after, Wu Quishan's figure flashed, and he asked, How's the harvest in Stellar Sky City? Not much. Fong Ping smiled. Vice Chancellor, have the arrangements been made in Skygate City? Almost. Old Huang suggested that we let the new students go to Skygate City to have a look. What do you think? Let the new students enter the catacombs? Fong Ping hesitated for a moment. Very quickly, he nodded. Okay, it's good to bring them there. I originally wanted to let the new students wait a little longer, but now that there are no enemies in Skygate City, they can still enter. We can also let them know that MCMAU has fought in Skygate City for many years, and there are countless casualties. Fong Yuan, should we not let her enter? Wu Quishan asked. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. Vice Chancellor, you're the Vice Chancellor. Do you have to ask me for everything? Those who don't know might think that I've made you a figurehead. Wu Quishan said faintly. Isn't that so? Fong Ping's expression was solemn. He said resolutely, absolutely not. Then build me a crystal pagoda that's even taller than yours. Fong Ping. Fong Ping now completely understood what it meant to be an old fox. Before he could speak, Old Wu said again, otherwise the school won't think so. The outside world won't think so either. Now, I'm embarrassed to go out. If I go out, people will say, Yo, Old Wu, I heard you've resigned from MCMU. Wu Quishan sighed. I can't afford to lose face like that. I can't say anything about it. Don't you think so? Fong Ping's expression darkened. He said dryly, then what you mean is MCMU's mineral veins are not suitable for building crystal towers. Your place is bigger. Build more. I think for the high-ranked ones, one for each person. That way, you won't be too conspicuous, too ostentatious. Fong Ping looked sad. I want to be conspicuous. I want to be ostentatious. Old Wu actually wanted to freeload off his energy mine. Did the school not have one? Was there a need to do this? He did not speak. Old Wu said again, also, you mentioned earlier that there are resurrected high-ranked martial artists coming. If that's the case, we should also give them the corresponding courtesy. You should understand the principle of 1,000 gold for a horse's bones. A crystal tower is actually not much. However, a crystal tower built on the mineral veins, a crystal tower that can accelerate cultivation, other than MCMAU, no one else can afford it. Don't forget, there are actually only a group of resurrected martial artists in Star City, not all of them. In the outside world, there are still some who have returned to the sect. As for the sects, they can still be absorbed. If you can hook up those old antiques in the sect world, even Minister Zhang will praise you for your meritorious service. These old antiques are actually more difficult to deal with, but now it's actually difficult for them to cultivate. Some people's condition has deteriorated greatly. In the sect world, there are old antiques who are not resurrected, but there are also high-ranked resurrected ones. Their strength is still not weak. If we really count the high-ranked people in the sect world, I'm afraid there will not be less than 50 people. Some sects only have 2 or 3 people in a sect. The number of middle and low-ranked martial artists is not even as many as the high-ranked ones. These high-ranked ones have nothing better to do. They would rather sleep than come out. Fong Ping said tiredly, I understand what you mean. Using the mineral veins to lure these people to take the bait, right? That's right. They might not be willing to go to the government, but if they come to MCMAU to teach, I think there is still hope. Wu Quishan laughed. Don't you want a school to suppress a catacomb? If you are not at the pinnacle, can you suppress a catacomb? But if there are close to 100 high-ranked people in a school, if there are more than 10 rank 9 people, then there is hope to suppress a catacomb. There are only 12 cities left in the Magic City catacombs, 24 rank 9s. Even if there are no pinnacles, it is not impossible for us to suppress a catacomb. Fong Ping, you can only gain if you give up. Fong Ping sighed again and said, How many towers do you want to build? This mineral vein of yours is less than 100 meters long. However, it can guide the energy and spread it to the surroundings. It doesn't have to rely on your side. MCMAU's mineral vein will also guide the energy. Wu Quishan laughed. I calculated it. 30 should be enough. This will also be a symbol of MCMAU in the future. Think about it. One tower, one high-ranked, what a sight. Can other places do it? When MCMAU's 30 crystal towers are built, there will be high-ranked martial artists stationed there. MCMAU's prestige will be enough to make it famous in the world. Fong Ping was quite excited when he heard that. After he was done, he said, Vice Chancellor, shouldn't Skygate City's name be changed? When Wu Quishan heard that, he cursed in his heart. Kid, you're giving me your conditions. You actually want the right to name it. Shameless. Although he was cursing, Wu Quishan still smiled. What name do you think is suitable? Ping City? Fong Ping had mentioned it once in Nanjiang. No one paid attention to him. Now, the city that MCMAU had conquered by itself was good enough, right? Ping City, change it. Wu Quishan felt that this name was too straightforward. Even a fool would know that it was Fong Ping who came up with it. Was he shameless? Then Fong, you're not allowed to use your own name. Devil City, is that okay? Fong Ping rolled his eyes. Magic City Catacombs City, MCMU's city. What do you think? Wu Quishan thought for a moment and replied, Okay, Devil City will be Devil City, although it feels a little like a villain. Fong Ping ignored him. I'm someone who's determined to be a Devil King. How am I a villain? Devil King City is better, but it's too straightforward. Devil City is better. After discussing these, Wu Quishan asked again, how many people can come from Polaris City? I really don't know. Vice Chancellor, you'll know when you go. If you go personally, you're giving them enough face. A rank 9 powerhouse personally inviting them is much better than me, a rank 7, 12 high ranks. Not too many, just half will do. Wu Quishan was quite concerned about this matter. After asking for a while and understanding the situation, he did not delay and quickly used flight step to leave. If MCMAU could really pull this group of people over, their strength would skyrocket again. Even if they were not allowed to go to the catacombs, it would be enough just to watch over the school. September 15th. Something that shocked the outside world happened. On this day, MCMAU's school gates opened wide to welcome the new instructors. Under normal circumstances, the induction of MCMAU's instructors would not cause much of a commotion. Even if a rank 6 instructor came, they would just organize an internal welcome ceremony. This time, however, MCMAU made a big fuss, and the standards were extremely high. They even invited a few deputy ministers of the Education Ministry to participate in the welcome ceremony. There was no other reason. The instructors who came this time were really strong. All 3 rank. 8 powerhouses came. Monk Hui Hong, Guo Shengquan. Scholar Zihu, Guan Fu, Xian Qing, Mei Ling Feng. The arrival of the 3 rank 8s instantly blew up the whole country. Other than the 3 rank 8 powerhouses, there were also 2 rank 7 powerhouses. This time, not all of the 12 high ranks came. Fong Ping was not surprised that some chose to stay in Polaris City in the end. 2 rank 7 powerhouses, 1 male and 1 female. The male was called Fan Hua, and the female was Liang Yuqin. These were also their real names. The 5 high ranks who came did not use the names from their past lives. Let go of the past and start afresh. This was the only thought that the few high-ranked powerhouses had before they came. If it were not for their own survival, they would not have walked out of Polaris City. Other than the 5 high ranks, this time there were also 5 rank 6 martial artists who came with them. It was just that they did not attract too much attention. If it were any other time, 5-rank SXS might be enough to shock people. On this day, MCMAU raised many crystal towers. The 5 high-ranked powerhouses were stationed in 5 of the towers. Because of this, the number of MCMAU high-ranked powerhouses broke through the double digits, becoming 13 people. Everyone in the outside world knew that Luo Yichuan, Su Giqing, and Zhang Jianhong had been in closed-door cultivation for many days. Before that, they were already at the mentality-vitality unity realm. Perhaps they would step into the Grandmaster realm soon. Besides that, the 2 deans, Chen Zhenhua and Hu Mingyi, were also breaking through to the mentality-vitality unity realm with MCMAU's support. June 9th, MCMAU's old vice-chancellor died in battle in the catacombs. At that time, MCMAU only had 3 Grandmaster powerhouses left. Rank 8 Wu Quishan, Rank 7 Lu Polu, and Huang Jing. There was no one at the mentality-vitality unity realm. September 10th, MCMAU had 13 Grandmaster-level powerhouses in more than a year. Rank 9 Wu Quishan, Rank 8 Li Changsheng Guoshengquan, Guanfu, and Meiling Feng, Rank 7 Lu Polu, Huang Jing, Lu Fengru, Tang Feng, Fang Ping, Li Hansong Fanhua, and Liang Yuqin. When the news spread, there was no one who was not shocked. Even Zhang Tao was a little surprised. This kid Fang Ping was really good at deceiving people. He actually tricked 5 high-ranked powerhouses to go to MCMAU. The most important thing was the owner of the Hall of Myriad Origins, Yao Qingjun, this good-for-nothing, did not even get one. He heard that FMS's vice-chancellor, Nan Yunping, hung Yao Qingjun in the cultivation room and beat him up. He did not know whether it was true or not. Old Zhang felt a little regretful. It was too far away, and his mentality was too exhausted. Otherwise, it would have been nice to watch the show. September 15th. Old Zhang regretted that he did not get to see a good show. On the same day, the 2 presidents of the Martial Arts Association also wanted to cry, but had no tears. All of a sudden, there were 5 more powerhouses not on the ranking list. The Martial Arts Association's phone was about to explode with calls. Many grandmasters did not know about these people and did not know what was going on. They did not stop scolding these 2. If they had known that there were so many powerhouses living in seclusion, they would have struck first and gained the upper hand. MCMAU would not have gotten their turn. Not long after they had dealt with those grandmasters, MCMAU also called the Martial Arts Association to update the ranking list as soon as possible and let 5 new grandmasters enter the ranking list. 5 high ranks. If they did not come out of retirement, they would be high ranks. If they came out of retirement, it meant that they had the heart to contribute to mankind. That was a grandmaster. If that was the case, of course, the 5 grandmasters had to enter the grandmaster ranking list. Not only did they have to enter the ranking list, but they also had to be ranked at the top. According to the person on the other end of the phone, the 3 big rank 8 powerhouses were powerhouses who had comprehended the path of origin. Such powerhouses could be in the top 10 of rank, 8 no matter what. It would be best if they could be in the top 5. The first place was Old Li, and the 3 behind him were the 3 of them. MCMAU would dominate the rank 8 ranking list. When the 2 presidents heard his request, they almost died of anger. What rank do you want us to be? Why don't you be the president? Recently, the Martial Arts Association had a bad year. There were a lot of troublesome things. Vice President Liu had said a few sweet words to an old lady at home who knew which wicked person had overheard it and spread it. If word got out, President Liu would be too ashamed to face anyone. Recently, President Liu had been paranoid. He always felt that someone was eavesdropping on him. When he got home, he did not dare to make a sound. As for who was eavesdropping and who spread it, old Lou had a rough idea. He just could not be sure. The minister could not be so tasteless and boring, right? I did not offend him. However, if it was not a paragon, even if it was a rank 9, he should have noticed something if someone was eavesdropping on him. Yet there was none. How could it be Commander Lee? However, it was hard to say. Did Commander Lee not threaten him during the ranking list back then? Sigh, what a bad year. Maybe it's really Commander Lee, but aren't you higher than Minister Zhang in our ranking list? President Liu let out a long sigh in his heart. There was no way he could continue being this lousy president position. Each and every one of them threatened him every day. The ranking list was not something that he could rank, however, he wanted. I gave it to them to see for themselves, but each of them pretended not to care. When he sent it to the military department, Commander Lee said it was up to him. When he sent it to the education department, Minister Zhang also said he did not care about empty titles. If he really did not care, when we ranked the 2 guardians in front of us, I did not see any of your expressions, did you? Hypocrites. It must be one of these 2 who did it. The stronger they are, the more hypocritical, the more wretched they are, the more shameless they are. When old Lou hung up the phone, he cursed many people in his heart. Each and every one of them was like this. How many people had he been threatened by? MCMAU had the most. Wu Quishan, that old thing, actually asked him to rank him in front of the Dragon King. Wu Chuan, that old thing too, insisting that he was better than Zhang Weiyu. Tian Mu, that old fart, was actually unwilling to be ranked behind a rank 9. There was also Li Changsheng, Fang Ping. Each and every one of them was like this. There was also Lu Fengru. Last time, she also threatened him not to rank Fang Ping in front of her. If you threaten me again, I will publicize all of your scandals. President Liu made up his mind again. When the time comes, he would expose your true colors. He would let outsiders know what a group of paragons, a group of grandmasters, were like. The stronger they were, the more shameless they were. Please remember this book's original domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor mobile version website. Chapter 654. Due to the arrival of the 5 grandmasters, MCMAU was in an uproar for a few days. While MCMAU was still immersed in the grandmasters' arrival, and the number of high ranks had broken through to double digits. Capital City, Forbidden City. At this moment, the Forbidden City was completely closed to the public. In the depths of a side hall, Zhang Tao looked at the huge map in front of him. He was no longer as friendly as he usually was. After a while, he said solemnly, there are a total of 12 cities in the 18 southern regions. 6 Monster Plant Clan and 6 Monster Life Clan. Since this was a battle to destroy a domain, there was no distinction between the Demon Plant and Demon Life branches. Our opponents are very strong, perhaps even stronger than the Southern Sky territory of the 11 southern regions. Beside him, Li Daong said solemnly, he'll definitely become stronger. The commander said that this time the Forbidden Zone wouldn't just stand by and watch. Tiannan's catacombs' great victory previously had already made the restricted area feel that something was amiss. The Magic City catacombs had once again annihilated Sky Gate City. The number of rank 9 powerhouses in the restricted area was not limitless. So many rank 9s have died in battle one after another. The restricted zone will definitely send someone over this time. Zhang Tao nodded slightly and said, that's right. The battle in Tianan was an accident. In the battle in Demonic Capital, although the ones who died were the powerhouses under King Huai's command, it also put pressure on the other true monarchs. If the Battle of Tianan was a gamble, then the Battle of Demonic City was only a local war, and it also had the nature of a gamble. The forbidden catacombs must be stable. You can't gamble on a war every single time. The Battle of the Forbidden Catacombs was initiated by Sino Nation. It was a large-scale war initiated by them. They couldn't gamble with their lives in this battle. As Zhang Tao spoke, he said, currently, 3 rank 9s have been recruited from Stellar Sky City. Jiang Yuanhua will be participating in the war, and the other 2 will replace the 2 rank 9s to oversee a region. I'm planning to transfer Zhongzhou's catacombs, Zhao Xingwu, and Magic City's catacombs Fan Hyping, to replace them with the 2 from Polaris City. In addition, Zhang Weiyu, the Guardian of the West, Wu Chuan, the Guardian of the South, and Wang Yu, the Northern Spear King. Also, Elder Nan will also take action at the crucial moment. After Zhang Tao revealed the names of these people, Wang Qinghai, who was standing behind him, exclaimed in astonishment, they've turned out in full force in the top 10 of the rank 9 Grandmaster ranking in China, except for the 4 Peerless Masters. 5th, Nen Yunyue. 6th, Zhang Weiyu. 7th, Wu Chuan. 9th, Zhao Xingwu. 10th, Wang Yu. Apart from the 8th ranked Kong, Ling Yuan, who was still recuperating, everyone else would be participating in this battle. Such a lineup was shocking. Before Zhang Tao could finish, he continued, De Yong, you have to fight in this battle as well. In addition, Guo Xian and Tian Mu from the military will also participate. Li Daong, 11th on the rank 9 ranking list. Fan Hyping, Magic City's old fan, 15th on the rank 9 ranking list. After obtaining the divine weapon, Tian Mu was ranked 26th on the rank 9 ranking list. Guo Xian was currently ranked last on the list, 36th. Li Daong nodded. In this way, including Jiang Yuanhua, there were already 10 rank 9s. But this was not all. Zhang Tao continued. The Northern Guardian Mansion, Shan Mingwei, the head of the Shun family, will fight. The head of the Chun family, Chun Haodong of the Eastern Guardian Mansion, stepped forward. Dragon King Lin Long, the commander of the Wuan Army of the Ministry of Education, Beigong Yen, the commander of the State Garrison Army of the Department of Investigation, Zhong Qinghuan. Wang Qinghai suddenly said, Minister, wait, who's going to fight? Zhang Tao glanced at him and said lightly, do you have any questions? No doubt about it. Minister Wang replied bluntly. Then he grinned and said, Commander Zhong is coming? I haven't seen him for a long time. It's been a few years. Ever since he entered rank 9, he's been elusive. Isn't the National Garrison Army wiping out evil sects and searching for the seed of rebirth? I thought Commander Zhong wouldn't be coming. I didn't expect. Beside him, Li Daong glanced at him and said, You want to hit on her? She's an old pepper. I heard that she had a heated argument with Mayor Nan before for the position of the director of the Department of Investigation. Both of them started cursing in the office. Are you sure you can handle it? Minister Wang laughed dryly. Why would I? Aren't we old friends? I just haven't seen her for a long time. I just wanted to ask. Daong, I heard that you've been thinking about her too. Is that true? Li Daong ignored him. Zhang Tao knew a lot of secrets. He said, nonchalantly, many people are thinking about her. Didn't Wu Chuan call her a few days ago to harass her? Other than Wu Chuan, Beigong Yen, Lin Long, and Zhang Weiyu seem to have some ideas. Save it, you guys. She's not easy to deal with. I heard that she's having an affair with Li Zhen. Li Daong's expression was stiff. Minister, you can't just say things like that. Zhang Tao snorted and said disdainfully, I'm saying things like that? If she's not having an affair, why would he, Li Zhen, a commander of the military department, have a discussion with the National Garrison Army of the Department of Investigation? If she's having an affair, then so be it. Why would she block my mentality? If that's not guilty conscience, then what is? Li Deyong's expression was extremely stiff. You're in the right to eavesdrop. It's fine if you eavesdrop on others, but you even eavesdrop on Li Jun. It'd be strange if he didn't block you. Just because he blocked you, she's having an affair with someone else? Your logic is invincible. Zhang Tao laughed again. There aren't many women in rank 9. Nan Yunyue, Zhong Qinghuan, and Xie Yifan, just these 3. Nan Yunyue is too old. Zhong Qinghuan and Xie Yifan are a little younger. It's normal for a group of bachelors like you to have your eyes on them. Li Deyong and the others looked unhappy. Minister Wang coughed softly. Minister, I heard that you sent flowers to Minister Xie a few years ago, but was rejected. Zhang Tao's expression did not change. He said calmly, sent flowers? You guys really know how to make connections. How old am I? I'm almost 90. After Pingping's grandmother passed away, I lost the thought. Is that considered sending flowers? That's the flower of origin born by a rank 9 monster plant. Xie Yifan is not in her right mind. I'm sending flowers for her to comprehend the origin, but she actually rejected me. Zhang Tao shook his head and said helplessly, women, no matter what age they are, still like to think too much. Then he changed the topic. I don't know if Xie Yifan can make it back in time this time. She went to support Will Lawson. There's a riot over there. If she makes it back in time, the 3 female rank 9s will all be here. Everyone stopped teasing him. If they really pissed off old Zhang, they could forget about having a good life in the future. Li Deyong calculated for a while and said, if Minister Xie doesn't come back, then there'll be 15 rank 9s. Chief Nan and the rest are powerful. The top 10 can easily take on 2 at once. Minister Nan is about to break through. The moment he breaks through, killing 3 to 5 people might not be a problem. However, there are 24 rank 9s in the Forbidden Catacombs, including the restricted area's reinforcements. There might be more than 30. Minister, if you want to play it safe, it's still not enough. There were 36 rank 9s on the list. In reality, there were 35. The Chun and Shun families in Stellar Sky City had both rank 9s on the list. This time, there were 3 reinforcements, so there were 38 people. Other than the Forbidden Catacombs, there were still 23 catacombs in Sino Nation. These 15 people were almost at their limit. Even if Xie Yifan, who went to support other countries, came back, she might not be able to participate in this battle. Zhang Tao inhaled softly and said in a low voice, 15 people. This is much stronger than the last Tian'an battle, not only in terms of numbers, but also in terms of individual strength. However, you're right, 15 people against at least 30. In the last Tian'an battle, the Monster Plant Monster and Monster Life Clan were not on good terms. Some people from Monster Life Clan even avoided the battle. This time, many people from the restricted area should be coming, including the leaders of the 2 parties who led this battle. However, if we transfer more people, it will seriously affect the other catacombs. Once we lose the rank 9s to hold down the fort, there will be no way to suppress the riots in the nearby cities. Even delaying it will be difficult. Why don't we ask for help from the other big, holy lands? Minister Wang had just said this when Zhang Tao waved his hand and said, they are under more pressure than we are. What they mean is that now is not the time to start a large-scale war. A few old things even advised me not to act rashly at this time. Zhang Tao said, then said, Tian'an catacombs can be guarded without rank 9s. Send a few more rank 8s. This way, when Xie Yifan comes back, she can participate in the Forbidden City battle. Minister Wang hesitated for a moment, but still said, there has just been a battle in Magic City catacombs. Monster Sunflower City has suffered heavy losses. They might not start a war at this time. Old Man Fan is here. I think we can let Li Changsheng guard Magic City catacombs and send Vice-Chancellor Wu to participate in the battle. Li Daong said straightforwardly, Li Changsheng doesn't need it. Don't MCMAU have 3 rank, 8 resurrected martial artists? Let the 3 of them guard Magic City catacombs. No matter what, rank, 8 martial artists who have comprehended the origin won't be too weak. If the 3 of them join forces, they should be able to guard Magic City catacombs, right? Let Wu Quishan and Li Changxing enter Capital City to participate in the battle. Now we have 2 more rank 9s. Zhang Tao frowned slightly. MCMAU has just ended the Sky Gate battle. Li Changsheng consumes his vitality every time he fights. Wu Quishan is also in a period of rapid improvement. Everyone fell silent. MCMU participated in the battle one after another. In this year, there were countless big and small battles. Wu Quishan almost died in the battle in Tiannan. After that, he fought another big battle in Magic City. Li Changsheng also almost died in the battle in Nanjiang. Such frequent battles were rare even among high-ranked martial artists. However, there were only 15 rank 9s that Sino Nation could mobilize now. Including Xie Yifan's return, there were only 16. If there were 2 more, the situation would improve a lot. If the Forbidden Catacombs were destroyed, then Sino Nation's situation would improve. More than half of the tens of thousands of Wuhan military could be freed to fight in other catacombs. Among the 38,000 Wuhan military, there were dozens of high-ranked powerhouses. However, these people were now trapped in the Forbidden Catacombs and could not participate in the battles in other catacombs. The Education Ministry could only suppress this catacombs after decades of training. Minister Wang thought about it and said, then why don't we transfer Fang Ping over? Can't he restrain his aura? Let him bomb the city. Zhang Tao pressed his hands together and said, he can't come. His trip this time is extremely dangerous. After the battle in Tiannan, including the battle between kings, some of his characteristics have already been known by the restricted area. This time, the people from the restricted area might set up an ambush to kill him. If Fang Ping dies in battle here, no matter how great the victory in the Forbidden Catacombs is, it will not be worth it. This is also the reason why I don't want to recruit MCMAU's people. Zhang Tao sighed. If we recruit MCMU's powerhouses, he might take the opportunity to rush over and blend in. This kid is a troublemaker. If he comes, there might be accidents. Everyone laughed. Minister Wang said again, but MCMU still has many rank 7 powerhouses. Don't tell me they won't be recruited for this big battle. This includes Wang Jinyang, Li Hansong, Yao Qingjun, and a few others. Although they have just entered rank 7, their combat strength is quite strong. If they participate in the rank 7 battle, they might have unexpected gains. Also, Fang Ping's materialized objects are extremely powerful. I heard that they are all constructed from imperishable substances. Rich bastard! Li Daong suddenly cursed. Everyone looked at him. You actually know how to curse? Li Daong was a little embarrassed. He had just blurted it out. Sorry, he could not hold it in. However, a rank 7 martial artist constructed a materialized object using imperishable substances. What a rich bastard! He was extremely envious and jealous. He was not the only one. Were these guys not the same? Minister Wang also ignored him. Despicable people were actually jealous of a young man. Did they have no shame? I am not jealous. Yes, not at all. I just want to rob him. That's all. Ignoring Li Daong, Minister Wang continued. Fang Ping's materialized objects are powerful. If he appears on the battlefield and grasps the timing well, He might even be able to stop 7 or 8 rank 7 martial artists at once. If he can get rid of these people quickly, they can join the rank 8 battlefield. Zhang Tao waved his hand again. I said, he will be targeted and targeted. If he appears on the battlefield again, there will be rank 8s and even rank 9s who will attack him soon. After the Magic City battle, his trump cards were almost exposed. The rank 8 who escaped from Monster Sunflower City has already reported what happened that day to the restricted area. Therefore, even if he comes, the most he can do is stop a rank 9 and then be killed by the rank 9. The restricted area will not give him another chance to kill those rank 7 martial artists. Everyone felt a little regretful. This was the truth. Some of Fang Ping's situation was now known by the restricted area. If he appeared in the catacombs again, he would definitely be targeted. 15 rank 9s, Chief Nan, and the rest are extremely powerful. They might win. Zhang Tao said this, but he was frowning slightly. Winning did not mean there would be no losses. If too many rank 9s died in this battle, then the losses would outweigh the gains. However, manpower was indeed limited. Should Wu Quishan and Li Changxing be enlisted? Wu Quishan's ability was much stronger than before. He heard that Fang Ping had passed the Celestial Gate tree to him again, and lent him to reforge a rank 9 divine weapon. It was slightly stronger than the upgraded rank 8 divine weapon from before. The origin path had also improved a lot. Now, it would not be difficult for Wu Quishan to kill a rank 9 without a rank 9 divine weapon. Li Changxing also had the combat strength to kill a rank 9. Both of them had rank 9 divine weapons. If they joined forces, their ability would not be weaker than the last few rank 9 ranked in the top 10. Zhang Tao thought for a while and did not mention this again. Instead, he continued, recruit 30 rank 8 martial artists from the country. There are 5 rank 8s here in Wuhan military. Together with a few from the ministry and a few from the military department, we will make up to 40 rank 8 martial artists. There are only 35 rank 8 martial artists in the Forbidden Catacombs. From the restricted area, there will not be many rank 8s. Their ability is about the same. As for the rank 7s, the Wuhan military and the ministry can also gather 40 people. Recruiting 60 people or 100 people should be enough. Although there are many rank 7s in the catacombs, don't forget that most of our people now have divine weapons. Their combat strength is stronger. The situation is much better than before. Everyone calculated for a while. In this way, there would be more than 150 high-ranked powerhouses participating in the battle. Compared to the last battle in Tiannan, more people were mobilized and stronger. Divine weapons were fully equipped. There were even more rank 8s and 9s. As Zhang Tao did not mention anything about MCMAU, Minister Wang thought for a while and still said vaguely, that kid Fang Ping is not here. I feel a little unsafe. Zhang Tao's expression darkened. He said lightly, you think Fang Ping is more reliable than me? That guy was only a rank 7. How could he be reliable? When the time comes, I will still be at Mount Royal Sea. That's not what I mean. The key is that kid has a lot of good stuff. We can't dig them out normally, but when the battle starts and he sees that we have casualties, that kid will also throw out the good stuff. Do you know how much life essence he has, Minister? Do you know how many imperishable crystals he gave to MCMU last time? Usually, this kid hides it very well. Minister, you've robbed him a few times. He might hold a grudge and take revenge on you sooner or later. When the battle starts, that kid won't have so many ideas. Zhang Tao snorted. Do you think I'm afraid of him holding a grudge? What a joke. Who was the Martial King? Even if Fang Ping had reached the peak, he would still have to hold it in. How could he be afraid of Fong Ping? Then are you sure you won't recruit MCMU people? It depends on the situation and the situation. If trouble really happens at this crucial time, Zhang Tao calculated for a while and said, then recruit MCMU people, especially Fong Ping. Throw them into the catacombs and lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away. Maybe there's a chance. Everyone was dumbfounded. Lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away. What was the minister thinking? Zhang Tao rubbed his chin and said, he and King Huai have a deep grudge. King Huai's 2 plans were ruined by him. He can't wait to kill him. King Huai commands the forbidden catacombs. At this crucial time, his archenemy has come. If Fong Ping provokes him a few more times, how can he not be angry? Also, this time, if people come from the restricted zone, some of those high-ranking brats from the King battleground might come too. In the Outland, these people are the masters. If the master wants to kill Fong Ping, will those people not listen? It's not impossible for Fong Ping to lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away. If it really comes to that, won't he be dead meat? That's not necessarily true. If this kid can really run to the bounded zone or hide his aura and find a place to hide, it'll be very difficult to find him. Zhang Tao laughed and said, of course, we won't do that unless it's a crucial moment. If it really doesn't work, let him curse at the passageway entrance. I'll help him amplify his voice. It's good to disturb people's minds. At most, after he's done cursing, let him leave the passageway. Don't say, this trick might work. In a battle between powerhouses, once the mentality is unstable, it'll be a mess. After saying that, Zhang Tao said again, go and find out what Fong Ping has been doing recently. During the battle, keep a close eye on him. Don't let him run around and cause riots in other catacombs. That'll be troublesome. Okay. Minister Wang responded. After that, he felt a little awkward. This was strange. A battle involving a catacomb. Such a big matter. Why were we discussing a rank 7 martial artist? This time, the powerhouses involved, rank 7 martial artists counted in the hundreds. Rank 8s might be in the hundreds. There were dozens of rank 9s. They did not care about those rank 9s. Instead, they were discussing a rank 7 martial artist. Just as they were discussing what Fong Ping was doing. McMao, old man, Li looked at Fong Ping with a face full of shock. He murmured, what are you doing? Fong Ping said in a low voice, this time, I'm going to do something big. Kid, what's up with you? Old Manly was going crazy. Tell me, how much imperishable substance do you have? It's fine if you use imperishable substance to create the materialization core. Now, you want to use imperishable substance to build an entire city. Do you know how much imperishable substance this will consume? Kid, even if it's a waste, you shouldn't waste it like this. You're only a rank 7. No matter how strong the materialization is, it can only trap a rank 8 at most. But you have so much imperishable substance. Once it's consumed on the materialization, it's the kind that can't be recycled. It's a waste. Fong Ping nodded. I know, but instructor, if I turn the entire Sun City into a golden city, do you think I can use it as a real cage city? Fong Ping chuckled. When the war starts, it's very difficult for me to trap a rank 9. It's actually difficult for a rank 8. But if I throw Golden City down, as long as it's within my coverage range, a rank 7 can forget about coming out if they're trapped inside. Isn't the Forbidden Catacombs going to have a big war? I've been thinking about it. I might join the war. After all, Fong Ping, cannot be separated from the war. I won't take care of the powerhouses, but those rank 7 martial artists, there are hundreds of them in each catacombs, right? My previous house was too small. Now that I've turned all the buildings into golden houses, won't I be able to trap them one by one? Once they're trapped, I'll drag them back and kill them slowly. Stop thinking about these useless things all day long. Old Manly frowned. You're wasting so much imperishable substance just to trap a rank. 7. With so much imperishable substance, it's enough for you to quickly hone your golden body as a rank. 8. It's more than enough to hone to peak rank. 8. When you've reached peak rank, 8 or even rank 9, killing a rank 9 is more worthwhile than killing dozens of rank 7. Martial arts cultivation is also about cost-effectiveness. That's true. Fang Ping thought for a while and said, but I have a lot of imperishable substance. Forget it, let's give it up for now. It's not enough to turn a small city into gold. Fang Ping sighed. Less than 200 million imperishable substance. If he spent all of it, there was no way he could completely turn a small city into a small city made of imperishable substance. He still had a long way to go. Without mentioning this matter again, Fang Ping asked again, Instructor, has the minister enlisted MCMAU to join the war? No. Does that mean he's not planning to enlist MCMAU? Maybe, Old Manly said, don't you have an endless supply of imperishable substance? Give me a little more. 30 to 50,000 won't be too little. I'll go to the forbidden catacombs for a walk. Fang Ping rolled his eyes. He knew now that he had spent 1,000 wealth points to condense a strand of imperishable substance that was only 1/10 of Yuanli's destructive force. 10 strands were only 1 Yuanli's power. 30 to 50,000. Wouldn't that be 300 to 500 million wealth points? That was a few trillion wealth points. 1 Yuanli's power was comparable to 10 C celestiality and 5,000 calories vitality force. This referred to the degree of destructive power. A rank 8 powerhouse who had just entered rank 8 could only produce 10 Yuanli's power. If it was divided according to the 9 forging golden body, the amount of imperishable substance that a 1 forging golden body could produce was only this much. It was considered a limit. Only when the forged golden body was stronger could it accommodate more imperishable substance. Old Manly asked for tens of thousands. Fang Ping could not afford it even if he sold his entire fortune. What a black-hearted person! Thinking of this, Fang Ping felt a headache coming on to his future cultivation and recovery. 1 Yuanli's power would require 10,000 wealth points. According to theory, the upper limit that could be accommodated would increase at least 10 Yuanli's power. 9 forging was almost the upper limit of 100 Yuanli's power. 1 recovery would be 1,000,000 wealth points. This was not 1,000,000, it was 10 billion. In the future, a rank 7 divine weapon would only be enough for 1 recovery. It was too extravagant. No wonder rank 8 powerhouses nowadays were so cautious. It could not be helped. They did not have Fang Ping's ability. Even if Fang Ping spent his wealth points, he would need to spend the price of a rank 7 divine weapon to recover completely. They relied purely on the intertwining of their golden body, mentality, and vitality force to produce a little. If they depleted their imperishable substance, the difficulty of recovery would be at least 10 times higher than Fang Ping's. The price of dozens of divine weapons. There were a lot of poor rank 8 ghosts. Who could afford it? Fang Ping ignored Old Manly. He thought for a while and said, Instructor, you said that I should go to the Shishan catacombs now to inspect the situation of the freshman's cultivation arcane realm. Can I go in and inspect the Shishan catacombs? Inspection? Yes. Old Manly was speechless. Do you think I'll believe you? Do you think the Shishan catacombs will believe you? Fang Ping, the Forbidden City battle is not far away. Don't cause trouble for everyone. Fang Ping felt tired. How am I causing trouble? These people are saying that I'm causing trouble now. I've always been the one who has contributed, okay? Each and every one of them are afraid that something will happen to me. I'm just going to the bounded domain. I'm going to the bounded domain to take a look. If there's anything good, I'll bring it back. If there's nothing good, I'll leave. It'll only take 1 or 2 days to go back and forth. What are you guys thinking? Besides, the Forbidden Catacombs and the Shishan Catacombs are on the other side. I'm not going to the other side. I'll go to the side that's adjacent to the Trichine Catacombs, okay? Then I can't not go to the catacombs, can I? Instructor, I'll go to Shishan in 2 days. I heard that the Shishan Catacombs is the first catacombs discovered in Sino Nation. I'm quite interested in that side. The seniors of Guangxing Temple said that they discovered immortals. Guangxing Temple has a long history too. I've even seen the records of Guangxing Temple over at Polaris City. There were also people who participated in the battle 1,000 years ago. I'll go to Guangxing Temple to take a look, then Shishan to take a look. Maybe there will be some unexpected gains. Don't you think so? Old man Li looked at him for a while. After a long while, he said, "You can try. I might not let you in." Fang Ping pursed his lips. How is that possible? I'm going to Shishan, not the Forbidden Catacombs. Is there any reason not to let the Martial Arts University Vice-Chancellor go to the catacombs? Please remember the domain name of this book, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 655. Starting from September 20th, the government began to issue conscription orders. McMao, in the conference room of South District, Huang Jing said, the government did not enlist MCMAU into battle because MCMAU's previous battle had just ended. The Department of Education felt that we needed to recuperate. Tang Feng said calmly, "There's no need for that. I'll be participating in this battle. Even if they didn't, they wouldn't reject me if I went." Everyone looked at him. Tang Feng glanced at Fang Ping and said, "How do martial artists improve if they don't fight? During the battle at the Gate of Heaven, we didn't put in much effort at all. The light injuries we suffered have long since healed. If I don't fight, I'll need at least a year to reach middle stage rank 7. The only way to break through the barrier was to continuously fight and fight to the death. Only when one's psyche was stimulated and his chi and blood surged to the limit. I don't want to be a burden all the time. In MCMHU now, it doesn't make a difference if I'm around or not." As Tang Feng spoke, he swept a glance at Fang Ping. His gaze was unfriendly as he said, "This will prevent some brat from using his mentality to spy on me in the middle of the night without me noticing." Fang Ping looked innocent. "You're accusing me wrongly." "Humph." Tang Feng's gaze became even more unfriendly. He said sharply, "If not, why would everyone know that I ate something in the middle of the night?" Fang Ping was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He raised his hand and swore, "Don't look at me. I didn't do it. It was Teacher Li who told me. He said that you have a special hobby and can't sleep without eating stinky tofu in the middle of the night. That's how I found out about this. You were the one who spread it." "No." Humph. The atmosphere in martial arts universities was becoming more and more abnormal. When I go to the Forbidden Catacombs this time, I will also question Minister Zhang. Evil practices must be banned, starting with him. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. In the past, I thought that Minister Zhang was kind and considerate to the people. Now, Tang Feng could not be bothered to explain. MCMAU's unhealthy tendencies were all caused by Zhang Tao. When he went to the Forbidden Catacombs this time, he would definitely interrogate Zhang Tao harshly. As the head of a department, should he do such a thing? Don't you have any morals? In the long run, wouldn't everyone be in danger? He ate stinky tofu, and the whole school knew about it. Even his own daughter would ask him, "Dad, did you eat it last night?" And the key to all of this was strength. Early stage rank, 7 strength was not enough. It was far from enough. He couldn't even block the mental probing of these bastards. Fang Ping shrugged. If you want to question him, go ahead. I won't stop you. I didn't eavesdrop anyway. Old man, Li has been doing this a lot lately. Tang Feng is going. Who else wants to go? Huang Jing did not care about the noise from these guys and asked again. Me. Lu Fengru answered without explaining. Old man Li chuckled. I'll go take a look too. I won't fight. I'll just watch. If the restricted zone knows about me, they'll probably send a rank 9 to keep an eye on me. I can also hold back a rank 9's combat strength. Huang Jing heard this and said, if the 3 of you want to go, I'm afraid the principal can't go. Elder Fan had been recruited. The Ministry of Education wanted the principal to stay in Hope City to prevent any trouble from happening in Shanghai. High Grandmaster Su Haoren was stationed in the catacombs of Zhongzhou, replacing Alliance leader Zhao. High Grandmaster Wei Yong guarded the Nanjiang catacombs, replacing Wu to guard it. This way, Elder Fan, Alliance Master Zhao, and Guardian Wu will be able to fight. At the side, Lu Polu spoke slowly. I won't be going this time. As he said that, he looked at Fang Ping and asked, do you still have life essence? Lend me 10 caddies. Fang Ping's expression was one of astonishment, followed by extreme joy. Lu Polu was the oldest grandmaster in MCMAU. He rarely said anything, much less took the initiative to ask Fang Ping to borrow anything. But now, Fang Ping said immediately, no problem. Is 10 caddies enough? Old Lu, you're going to… Lu Polu laughed. Not yet. I've only honed 21 skulls now. There are still 5 that haven't been honed. This time, I want to try and see if I can complete the honing of these 5 skulls as soon as possible. I've been stuck at rank 7 for too long, so long that I'm almost in despair. During the Nanjiang battle, I thought that if I went, the one who would most likely die would be me. In the end, it was NMAU's vice-chancellor and the others. During the Magic City battle, I thought that I would die too. In the end, I didn't. Since I can't die, then I'll take a gamble. This time, I'll try and see if I can complete the honing of the skulls using a large amount of life essence, like I did with longevity, 21 pieces already. Old Lu, you're progressing really fast these days. Fang Ping beamed. Life essence is no problem. If old Lu needs it, I still have some imperishable substances that are more suitable for honing the skulls. If I can enter rank 8, then MCMU will be even stronger. Lu Pola's qualifications were really old. The people of the old vice-chancellor's generation took an even longer time to break through to rank 7. Logically speaking, after rank 7, the barrier of qualifications had already been eliminated. However, it was unknown whether it was because of his previous injuries or his old age that he lacked some drive. Lu Polu had never been able to enter rank 8. Now, there was finally some hope. No wonder he did not mention going to the forbidden catacombs this time. Fang Ping did not say much. Soon, a bottle appeared in front of him, and he tossed it to Lu Polu. Lu Polu smiled, but did not say anything. A piece of paper floated toward Fang Ping. Fang Ping saw Guo Shengquan and the other new grandmasters looking at him curiously. He coughed dryly and said, I was just joking. Just joking. Seniors, please don't mind me. At this moment, Guo Shengquan had also read the contents of the note clearly. He could not help but laugh. Then he said, Everyone, you don't have to treat us as outsiders. Since we've come to MCMAU, then we're part of MCMAU. These few days, we've also gained some understanding of MCMAU. Honestly, MCMAU is better than we thought. The atmosphere here is very good. At first, I thought that MCMAU is similar to Polaris City. Everyone is in charge of their own things. Although we say that we're from the same city, we're not a family after all. There are still differences. But now that we're here, I've realized that I was wrong. MCMAU's high-ranked martial artists are worthy of being called grandmasters. Just their magnanimity alone is something that we can't hope to achieve. Guo Shengquan was full of emotions. He said, "We also know about the Battle of Forbidden City. Before this, we really didn't consider participating. I even thought that MCMAU had no choice but to participate in the battle if the government did not enlist us. But today, everyone's words make me feel very ashamed. The threat of the catacombs, the threat of mankind. Every martial artist from the outside world dares to fight, and everyone wants to fight. For the Battle of Forbidden City, I'll go with Dean Tang and the rest." Beside him, Guanfu also laughed. "I'll go too. Let's go together. It'll be considered an official debut. Now that we've left Polaris City, we haven't achieved anything." Coming to MCMAU, to be honest, I also feel that we don't get along very well with everyone. The biggest reason is probably that we've never fought together. After experiencing life and death together, I think MCMAU will no longer be estranged from us. If we want to live our own lives as martial artists, fighting is indispensable. Fang Ping said hurriedly. "Seniors," Guanfu laughed. "See, the estrangement is here. You've always called us seniors. We've also heard of the others that you've called. We've also heard of Big Lion, Old Man Li, Old Man Huang, Old Wu, and so on. In my opinion, this is trust and closeness. Of course, we've only known each other for a short time, but if we want to quickly integrate into MCMAU, there are still some things that need to be done." Having said that, Guanfu laughed again. "After all, we're already rank 8 martial artists and have comprehended the martial path of origin. Our abilities aren't considered weak. I've known Hui, Old Gua, and a few others for decades. We've also entered the catacombs together to fight. If the 3 of us join forces to deal with a rank 9 weakling, we're still confident. If the other party has only comprehended the origin but not the martial path, then there's a high chance that he's no match for us." Beside him, Mei Lingfeng said coldly, "That's right. The 3 of us may not be as strong as Vice-Chancellor Wu and Dean Li, but if the 3 of us join forces, we won't be weaker than the average rank 9. Since we want to come out and gain everyone's approval, then we can't be left out of such a big battle. This time, there are more than 100 grandmasters participating in this battle. With the 3 of us participating in this battle, we can be considered to have officially integrated into the martial arts world and become a part of it. No matter how famous we are on the grandmaster ranking, we won't feel unworthy anymore." After the 3 of them said that, Fang Ping pondered slightly. Old Man Li laughed. "Are the 3 of you sure you want to go? After all, there are a lot of powerhouses participating in this battle, and they may die. The 3 of you have just come out of retirement. If you don't go, no one will say anything." When Fang Ping invited you to come out of retirement, he also made it clear that you will only teach and not enter the catacombs. Even Minister Zhang agreed to this point. Guo Shengquan said calmly, "Martial arts must fight. Since we've come out, then we must understand this principle. We are also rank 8 martial artists. How can we not understand? As for dying in battle, if we really die in the forbidden catacombs, I only hope that when the catacombs are made public in the future, we can leave our names behind. In this life, we must live out our own lives." Old Man Li laughed heartily. "That's true. The 3 of you are all rank 8 powerhouses and have comprehended the origin. Since you've already made up your mind, then we won't persuade you otherwise. However, Instructors Liang and Fan, don't go this time. You're only rank 7. It's your first time participating in such a large-scale battle. It's too dangerous. Seeing that the two of them still wanted to say something, Old Man Lee pressed his hands together and said, "If the two of you really want to, you can go to Hope City to assist the Vice Chancellor and guard Magic City's catacombs." Old Wu wanted to go initially, but there are many in Sky Gate City now. Magic City. Fong Ping interrupted. Old Man Lee rolled his eyes and continued, "There are many MCMAU instructors and students gathered in Magic City. Old Wu is also worried. Huang Jing and the two of you, together with Old Wu, Ko Bianjiang, and the rest, should be enough to guard 2 cities. As for me, I'll bring Tang Feng, Fengru, and Old Gua. The 6 of us will go to the Forbidden Catacombs together. Old Lu will be guarding the school. It's a good chance for him to go into closed-door cultivation to see if he can achieve rank 8. Fong Ping and Li Hansong, the two of you decide." As the strongest powerhouse in the school, Old Man Lee did not hesitate to make arrangements. After saying that, he said smugly, "MCMAU is really strong. Not only can we guard the catacombs, we can also support other places. It's equivalent to 2 or 3 rank 9 combatants supporting the Forbidden Catacombs. Just this point alone, the West and South Guardian Manors can't compare to us." Fong Ping looked at him smugly and shook his head helplessly. A bottle appeared in his hand again, tossing it to him, saying, "This is all the life essence. You should use it sparingly." After saying that, many golden spheres appeared in his hand again, tossing them to everyone, saying, "This is all I can do." "Oh, right. Old Gua, do you and the rest have divine weapons?" He had never asked about this before. Gua Shengquan shook his head and said, "We don't have that. We don't have many catacombs battles, so is that so?" Fong Ping sighed in his heart. What a pauper. It was normal for them to not give it to them over at Star City. They did not participate in the battles, so giving it to them was useless. He Kuang was only working with them over at Star City. They were not really a family. Fong Ping had many divine weapons himself, even though he had auctioned some last time and distributed some to some rank 6 instructors later. He still had many in his hands. After thinking for a moment, Fong Ping said, "The 3 seniors are all rank 8 powerhouses. Rank 7 divine weapons won't be of much help. However, Minister Zhang is over there. He has the ability to fuse divine weapons. I still have 12 rank 7 divine weapons here. I don't know if I can fuse them into 3 rank 8 divine weapons. A rank 7 divine weapons value was about 10 billion. A rank 8 divine weapons value was at least 30 billion and above. The higher ones could be as high as 50 billion. In terms of value, it was not impossible to fuse 3 or 4 divine weapons into 1 rank 8. However, old Zhang would probably have to put in a lot of effort." After Fong Ping said that, without waiting for them to speak, 12 divine weapons flew out and floated toward the 3 of them. Not only the divine weapons, but also a note. They were stunned for a moment. Fong Ping smiled and said, "Let's do it according to the usual practice. Since the 3 instructors don't have divine weapons, then I'll lend 12 of them this time. Each of you can write an IOU of 50 billion. They were stunned again. Fong Ping smiled and said, "None of you have any doubts, right? This is very normal. This is also MCMAU's practice. There are too many instructors who write IOUs to me here in MCMAU. Dean Li has a few trillion. Vice Chancellor Wu has 200 billion. After this, Old Lu will also have close to 100 billion. Instructor Tang, my instructor, Vice Chancellor Huang, they all have tens of billions. Those instructors and students in the school, there are even more who write IOUs to me. If you have the money, I'll pay it back. If you don't, there's no rush." The 3 rank 8 powerhouses were stunned for a moment. Then, a few of them laughed. It was a very surprising thing. They did not expect to have such an experience in just a few days after coming to MCMAU. The first surprise was Fong Ping's wealth. He gave out life essence like water. There were more than 10 divine weapons at every turn. They had never experienced such an experience. Even in Star City, where there were more than 10 people, they had never written IOUs before. However, they had seen the IOU that Lu Polu wrote earlier. Now, they followed suit and wrote one for each of them. Fong Ping put them away quickly. He sighed in his heart. There were more and more IOUs. After he put them away, he looked at the 2 rank 7s, Liang Yuqin and Fan Hua. He smiled and said, "Although both of you are only going to the Magic City catacombs, and there may not be any danger or battles, it's not bad to have a divine weapon to protect yourself. I'll lend each of you a rank 7 divine weapon. Let's write an IOU of 10 billion. Old Manly rolled his eyes and said, "Didn't you say there were only 12? This time, it's really the last 2. Fong Ping sighed and said, "Completely gone. Other than the 2 divine weapons I have, I don't have any more. The harvest from the King Battleground has been completely used up this time." All the divine weapons were gone. Back then, they had obtained more than 100 divine weapons. However, they had used them 7 or 8 times. Including some rank 6 instructors, they had really run out of divine weapons. Even the 2 ancient divine weapons that were comparable to rank 9 were given to Chun Yaoding and Tai Tu. Fong Ping had given it to Tai Tu earlier and asked him to find old Zhang to modify into a boxing glove that was suitable for him. This fellow only had armor. He did not have an offensive divine weapon. He was still using A-class alloy boxing gloves. A rank 9 ancient divine weapon did not have any spirituality to begin with. Tai Tu eagerly went to find old Zhang to modify it, and it became a rank 8 boxing glove. It was similar to Chen Yaoding. The last time he used an ancient divine weapon to merge with his own divine weapon, it only became a rank 8 divine weapon. But it was considered a fine one. This time, the 14 divine weapons were out. Other than the 2 that Fong Ping used himself, he had no more divine weapons. The divine weapons are gone. The life essence has also been given to Old Man Li. I've stuffed the energy ores into the mineral vein. I've also thrown the mentality accessories to Round Face and Chen Yunqi. Fong Ping did some calculations and looked at the empty storage space again. At this moment, he was really poor. He could not be any poorer, including the Skygate tree. He had thrown it all to Old Wu in exchange for an IOU that he did not know if it could be cashed out. The gains from the King Battleground and the Skygate battle have all been used up. After distributing the items, Fong Ping looked at everyone and said, "Then I wish all the instructors a safe journey. Safety is the priority. When you enter the catacombs, don't ever mention my name. This time, I heard that people from the restricted area are going there. There's also King Huai supervising the battle. It's best if you even take off your MCMU martial arts uniform. Students in the restricted area have provoked countless enemies. It's more serious than all the instructors think. Don't ever mention me." Everyone was speechless. The few new grandmasters had a strange look on their faces. These words, why did this guy sound so unreliable? Lu Fengru ignored him and asked, "What about you and Li Hansong? The 2 of us will go somewhere else. We won't be a burden to all the instructors." Fong Ping smiled. "This time, we'll see if we can get our hands on a mentality cultivation method. If we can, we'll be rich. It'll be much better than destroying the catacombs. When the time comes with a cultivation method that can cultivate mentality quickly, we'll still be able to rise up the ranks. The instructors won't have to stay in this realm because of mentality anymore. After saying that, Fang Ping looked at Huang Jing and said, "Vice Chancellor Huang, you'd better enter rank 8 as soon as possible. Otherwise, you might be surpassed by me when I return this time." Huang Jing was speechless. He had already honed a piece of his skull and entered peak rank 7. As long as he honed another 25 pieces, he would be rank 8. This kid was so confident. However, once this kid finished honing his skull, once his mentality reached 3,000 hertz and above, he might really be surpassed in no time. For a moment, Huang Jing was a little anxious. Just look at Tang Feng and the others. Now, they would run wherever there was a war. Why? Was it not because of the pressure? It was too hopeless. He and Lu Fengru had just broken through this year. They were both early stage rank 7. Ranking aside, the key was their realm. Beside them, the two grandmasters, Liang Yuqin and Fan Hua, were also slightly nervous. So soon, both of them were upper stage rank 7 martial artists. Their skulls had not been honed officially. MCMAU's Grandmaster meeting ended very quickly. The Grandmasters went about their own business. Those who should go to the Forbidden Catacombs went to the Forbidden Catacombs. Those who should go to the Magic City Catacombs went to the Magic City Catacombs. The Forbidden Catacombs Great War would happen at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Fang Ping spread his wealth in exchange for close to 200 billion worth of IOUs. He did not get anything else. If the school sends more grandmasters in the future, I won't have any more divine weapons to borrow. Dean Luo, Dean Zhang, and Old Su, the 3 soon-to-be grandmasters, all have divine weapons. Dean Chun and Dean, who also have divine weapons. It was not that she was jealous. Although Qin Fengqin was despicable, she would not be jealous of him. Even peak rank 6 Qin Fengqin could not go. It was normal for Fang Ping not to let her go. "Be careful." "I will." Fang Ping left quickly. Chun Yunxi stood at the top of the tower and watched him leave. For a moment, she was a little dazed. The top of the tower. She used to think that Fang Ping stood at the top of the tower and looked around to show off. However, at this moment, she suddenly had a different feeling. Loneliness. Standing at the top of the tower, she could see everything in the school. She could see the prosperity outside the school. She could also see instructors and students carrying weapons on their backs, walking in all directions alone. Moving forward with a heavy load, at this moment, she felt a sudden limitless pressure on her body. Looking at the teachers and students running in all directions, looking at the bustling city outside, Fang Ping was moving forward with a heavy load. Standing at the top of this tower, did he also feel the limitless pressure? "So, I still don't understand him," Chun Yunxi murmured softly. On this day, Chun Yunxi sat at the top of the tower, replacing Fang Ping and looking around. The waves of invisible pressure made her desperately hope that she could become stronger so that she could relieve some of Fang Ping's pressure. On this day, countless teachers and students were surprised. Even Chun Yunxi had been influenced by the company she kept. Looking at the shocked faces of those teachers and students, Chun Yunxi murmured in her heart again and again, "You don't understand him." It was lonely at the top. Only by standing here could one understand how much pressure a prodigy like Fang Ping was under. That pressure made it hard for people to breathe. This is Fang Ping. In this era, no one is more magnificent than him. Please remember this book's original domain name. Mobile version. Chapter 656. Outside the school. In the car, Li Hansong asked softly, "You're really not bringing old Qin?" Fang Ping shook his head. "He's only rank 6. Are we sending him to his death?" "That guy keeps asking us when we're leaving. He even called yesterday and told us to inform him when we're leaving Qin Fengqing was not in school. That guy had gone to the cult black market to earn some money. Otherwise, Fang Ping would not have gotten rid of him so easily in school. Fang Ping leaned against the seat and exhaled softly. Ignore him. He's almost at mentality, vitality, unity. It's better for him to cultivate hard now. To him, cultivating hard isn't a good thing. Li Hansong laughed and said, "Why do you always like to drive every time you go out?" "Nonsense. Isn't flying tiring? Isn't flying troublesome? You drive. I'll rest for a while. I'm not the one who's tired. Why don't I drive?" Li Hansong was speechless. What he said made sense. He could not refute him. At the same time, Dongwu Province. Qin Fengqing received a call. He yelled as he hacked at the fleeing cult martial artists, "Speak louder! What's up?" "What are you doing?" Zhang Yu asked from the other side of the phone. "Oh, robbing." "No, cleaning up the cult's stronghold," Qin Fengqing said as he hacked another rank, 4 martial artists to death. He asked, "Hurry up and tell me. I'm busy." Zhang Yu was speechless. After a while, he said, "Fang Ping and the others have left the school." "Left?" "Yes." "Bastard." Qin Fengqing cursed. With a sweep of his saber, the spacious abandoned factory collapsed immediately. Screams rang out. "You're not bringing me along again. Bullying the weak, aren't you?" Qin Fengqing cursed. He gritted his teeth and said, "I don't believe that I can't live without him. Old Zhang, give me 3 divine fruit and a dark moon herb on credit. Send them to me. I need them urgently." "What are you standing there for? It's only 5 billion. How much is that? Aren't you the deputy director of the school administration? If you can get them on credit, help me get some. I'll put your name on it." "You nonsense. Why would I come to you if I could pay on credit?" "Old Zhang, you have to think this through. Fang Ping and the others have formed their own clique. They've long cast you and me aside. If you want to do well and reach rank 7, you can't rely on them. You still have to rely on me, Qin Fengqing. If you invest in me now, you will be rich in the future. It's only 5 billion. It's not even enough to buy a divine weapon. When I earn money later, I'll pay you double the millions you owed me before. How dare you mention such a small amount of money to me, Qin Fengqing? All right, it's just a small amount of money. How about this? I cleaned up an evil cult black market in Dongyu. It's not much, but there's still around 300 to 500 million. Do I have no money? Do I care about this small amount of money? Since you've arranged for someone to take over, just treat it as me repaying my debt. Am I Qin Fengqing, the kind of person who doesn't pay back what I owe? I'll return you a few 100 million. Is that enough? Stop talking nonsense. Give me something on credit first, and come here as soon as possible. I'll take them and achieve mentality-vitality fusion immediately. I'll be a grandmaster in 3 days and an 8th grade in 10 days. On the other end of the line, Zhang Yu was stunned. So generous? I only mentioned it once, and you actually returned hundreds of millions to me? Was Qin Fengqing stupid? Are you sure? Of course. All right, I'll be right there. Remember to bring something over. After hanging up, Qin Fengqing curled his lips and muttered, Zhang Yu is still so stupid. A few 100 million for a few billion. He still doesn't understand the math. Zhang Yu was the real idiot. He laughed as if he had gotten a great deal. You've borrowed so many things, but I can't borrow them myself. When I achieve mentality-vitality fusion and become a grandmaster, just like now, what's a few million? A few million in the past was not enough. Look at it now. Just casually cleaning up a black market would be a harvest of hundreds of millions. When I become a grandmaster, I'll be able to make hundreds of billions with a casual job. Why would I care about this little bit of money now? Qin Fengqing understood in his heart. After thinking for a while, he made another call. The call was picked up after a long time. Once the call was connected, Qin Fengqing said, "Fatty, lend me the mentality prohibition accessory, and then lend me 3 stalks of dark moon grass. Oh, right, lend me some life essence too. Fatty, you're not in a hurry to go down to the catacombs, and you're not going to the king battleground either. Lend me first. When your brother Qin becomes rich, I'll protect you. Don't worry." Fang Ping is a local tycoon. No matter how much you invest, that kid won't feel anything. It's different if you invest in me. If you give it to him, it'll be icing on the cake. If you give it to me, it'll be a timely help. When I reach rank 7, there won't be any barriers to qualifications. 3 days, rank. 8, 5 days, rank. 9. Baldy, are you going to do something big? Jiang Chao asked, a little excited. Why don't we go together? He had been thinking about going down to the catacombs with Qin Fengqing if he went with Fang Ping, and the others, those fellows were too good at stirring up trouble. However, he dared not go to the king battleground now. He did not know where to go in the outskirts. Today, he had also reached peak rank 6. He still had some expectations for rank 7. Qin Fengqing was surprised. "You want to go with me?" "Yes." "Are you sure?" "Of course." Qin Fengqing rubbed his chin, muttering, "First, I won't be responsible if you die. Second, you have to pay protection fees. Third, my gains belong to me. If you give me 30% of your gains, I'll bring you there. Otherwise, I won't do it. You're too stupid. If I bring you along, I'm worried that I'll be tortured to death by you. Baldy, you're looking down on me too much. At least I have a divine weapon. I didn't even die in the king battleground. What will happen to me if I go to the outskirts?" Qin Fengqing licked his lips, squinting. "Fatty, I'm serious. If you really want to do it with me, then bring everything you've got. Whatever life-saving gadgets you have, bring them all. It's best if you find your family's pervert and borrow all your divine weapons and armors. Also, whatever good stuff your family's ancestor has, bring it all." Jiang Chao was a little uneasy. He gulped and asked, "Where are you going?" "To the forbidden catacombs. I'll take you to raid your house while the high ranks are at war. Once the high ranks are at war, all the high ranks will come out. We're not high ranks. Those who stay in the city are probably rank 5 or 6. The high ranks won't stay in the city anymore. We're middle ranks. We're not eye-catching. As long as we can kill a large number of middle-ranked martial artists, including Summit Mentality Vitality Unity, we'll definitely make a fortune this time. The dark moon grass is a specialty of the Forbidden Catacombs. I've asked. The Forbidden Catacombs produces a lot of dark moon grass. Every major city should have some. If we get some, both of us can achieve rank 7. Fatty, if you don't achieve high ranks, you won't be able to survive. From now on, it'll be the era of high ranks. You have a lot of life-saving items. Do you dare to do it?" Jiang Chao, who was on the other end of the phone, was about to cry. "Don't tease me. A few hundred high ranks are participating in the war. You want me to go with you to hunt the bottom? You could lose your life if you're not careful. This is more dangerous than the last time in the king battleground." Jiang Chao was about to refuse when Qin Fengqing said faintly, "I'm not counting on you. Just lend me some life-saving gadgets. I've got some good stuff. I'll share some with you." Fang Ping and the others are too much. They don't bring me anywhere. They're looking down on me. Just wait outside the catacombs. You'll get your share later. Baldy, are you really going? That's too dangerous. You might as well go to other catacombs. Are you stupid? Fortune comes from danger. The Forbidden Catacombs is the safest. The more dangerous the place, the safer it is. If I go to other catacombs, That's dangerous. But if I go to the forbidden catacombs, who would care about a middle-ranked martial artist? Who would believe that I, a middle-ranked martial artist, would dare to raid their house and raid their lair? Do you dare to believe it? No way. Since you don't dare to believe it, then no one will. If you're capable, then lend me some other things. Something like a golden fruit. Lend me as many as you can. If I really die in there, you can go and ask Fong Ping for a debt. That bastard said he's my ancestor. Sure, I owe him money. As my ancestor, he has to pay me back, right? How about it? Deal. Jiang Chao was silent for a moment. He said in a low voice, "Why are you working so hard? Of course. You have your ancestor to protect you. What do I have? I have a worthless life. Am I supposed to stay at rank 6 for the rest of my life? Am I supposed to be an instructor in MCMAU who doesn't care about anything? There are 13 high ranks in MCMAU now. No, there will be 16 soon. I can't survive in MCMAU anymore. That bastard Fong Ping sees that I'm pitiful and gives me some benefits. When he wants to do something big, he doesn't even consider me. Am I afraid of death? Mother of Asterisker, I'm not afraid of death. But what's the use of not being afraid of death? Even if I'm not afraid of death, he won't care. How can I be satisfied being looked down upon by this bastard? Who am I? Qin Feng Qing. In this era, the strongest genius, the strongest martial artist, the strongest prodigy. I only have one goal now. That is to be stronger than Fong Ping. When I'm stronger, I'll definitely beat him up and make him suck up to me every day. Jiang Chao murmured, "What a noble goal!" Of course. Qin Fengqing's face was full of pride. He said quickly, "Fatty, have you thought about it?" Jiang Chao hesitated for a moment. After a long while, he said, "I can lend it to you, but you forget it. You might not have the chance to return it to me. Also, I'll give you another piece of information. Since you're ready to die, you don't have to worry about danger. Dark moon grass is actually nothing. Do you know what dark moon grass is? This was a type of grass that grew from a demon plant. This demon plant was called the underworld moon tree. The underworld moon tree grew in the periphery of the forbidden area of the forbidden catacombs. There were many of them there. If you have the ability to kill an underworld moon tree, if you are not afraid of death or self-destruction, then you can directly swallow the core and brain of the underworld moon tree. I guarantee that you'll be a rank 7 immediately. However, this was very dangerous, and the possibility of self-destruction was higher. But if you're really in a desperate situation, you can give it a try. Maybe you can enter rank 7, and then there won't be any problems. There's such a thing? Of course. Think about who I am. My family's patriarch likes to take notes. I know a lot of things. How about this? I'll wait for you outside the forbidden catacombs. Coincidentally, my grandfather will be there too. I'll go with him. Baldy, if you really die, then I'll be making a loss. You better not die and come back to pay me back. Rest assured. Qin Fengqing hung up the phone and grinned. This time, he borrowed something worth tens of billions. Fong Ping, you better pray that I don't die. Otherwise, I'll let them all come to you to collect the debt. He had made up his mind. If he died, then he would not have to pay the debt. If he did not die, then it would be fine. He would pay when he had the money. I told you not to bring me along. When I come back alive, I'll go straight to rank 7. No, rank 8. Your jaw will drop. Qin Fengqing gritted his teeth. Very quickly, he killed everyone. After exiting the collapsed factory, he shouted at the martial artists who were in fear and trepidation outside, "You guys take 10% of the things. The rest is mine." "Thank you, Grandmaster Qin." Qin Fengqing looked awkward. Grandmaster sounded like a swindler. I want to be a grandmaster. I don't want this *T grandmaster. After leaving this mess for others to clean up, Qin Fengqin did not delay. He went to pick up Zhang Yu first and achieve mentality-vitality fusion as soon as possible. Then, he would go to the forbidden catacombs to meet up with Fatty. After getting the things, he would enter the catacombs. He would go in first and figure out the situation. Then, he would wait for the high-rank war to erupt. This time, he would not come out until he reached rank 7. If he cultivated step by step, how long would it take for his mentality to materialize? Fang Ping said that in a few years, the all-out war would start. When that time came, even if he reached rank 7, what use would it be? This time, when I reach rank 7, when I return to school, I guarantee that everyone will be dumbfounded. Wait for Dean Luo and the others to reach rank 7. I'll be faster than them. I'll show you what a real genius is. Qin Fengqin was thinking happily. He did not care about Fang Ping and the others anymore. If he did not bring them along, then so be it. It was as if he could not live without them. Fang Ping and the others went to Xishan. Qin Fengqin took the things from Zhang Yu and went straight to the forbidden catacombs. The grandmasters rushed to capital city one after another, waiting for the big war. The other grandmasters also entered the catacombs and began to keep watch. This time, there might be a catacombs riot. The restricted area would not sit idly by anymore. This time, the other catacombs might also be attacked. In the huge Sino nation, almost all the high-ranked martial artists were carrying heavy loads and moving forward, waiting for the arrival of victory. Middle-ranked martial artists also rushed to where they were supposed to go. Closed-door training? Unless they were really at the juncture of breaking through a realm. Otherwise, how many middle-ranked and high-ranked powerhouses would obediently go into closed-door training? The martial artists of the neo-martial era had all walked out of bloodshed. For the past 100 years, the war had never stopped. When Fang Yuan walked in the southern area, looking at the towers that were empty, she suddenly felt like crying. Brother left again. The grandmasters had all left. Even Sister Yunxi had left. After sitting at the top of Fang Ping's crystal tower for half a day, she left with her longsword. She did not listen to Fang Ping and went into closed-door training to break through. MCMAU did not have many meridian sculpting flowers. Previously, Fang Ping had obtained some from the military department. After using them until now, there were not many left. The remaining ones might not be enough for her to build her meridians. Since they had all gone crazy, then she would go crazy for once too. Go and fight. Sublimate in battle, rise in battle. In the neo-martial era, among the 3 big rank 9 female martial artists, which one of them did not rise in bloodshed. If they did not experience bloodshed, how many female high ranks could there be in Star Town? There might be hope for rank 7, but what about rank 8 and rank 9? Chen Yinxi, was also not willing to rely on Fang Ping to become a rank 7 who had not experienced many battles. If that happened, she might never be able to walk out of her own origin path. Chen Yinxi left. When Fang Yuan walked around the southern area as if she had lost her soul, Zhao Xuemei, who had just come out of closed-door training, left with the alloy staff in her hand without looking at anyone else. Zhao Lei and Fu Changding had their arms around each other's shoulders. Carrying their weapons, they laughed heartily and strode away. The indifferent Ciele did not say a word. He took the flight step and left. No one knew where he was going. Teacher Song, who was usually kind and amiable, did not even look at his daughter. He laughed heartily, took the flight step, and left quickly. Fang Yuan's eyes were misty with tears. When she saw a figure in front of her, she could not help but choke. Teacher, is the catacombs really that powerful? Bai Ruoshi smiled and patted her head gently. She sighed softly. Very powerful, very powerful. The neo-martial era is the glorious era of martial arts. It is also the glorious era of martial artists. At the same time, it is also an era stained with blood. You have a powerful brother. In this era, the more powerful you are, the harder it is to walk. Powerhouses. This is an era of sorrow and happiness for powerhouses. Bai Ruoshi looked into the distance and murmured softly, they are carrying a heavy burden and moving forward. They are resisting the invasion of the darkness. They walk in the darkness, but they bring light. Your brother is a hero, MCMAU's hero, Sino Nation's hero. Perhaps he is also a hero of all mankind. Yuan, he hoped that you could stay away from the darkness and the neo-martial era for the rest of your life. But he forgot martial artists can't turn back. When he handed you to me, he probably never thought that I am not a weak woman. How could I do as he wished? Bai Ruoshi laughed softly. Do you want to become stronger? Yes. Then go and fight. Your brother, a rank 1, has already started to carry out missions. He has killed countless evil sect martial artists. Even someone as weak as Chun Yunshi dared to draw her sword and fight. That is why there is a rank 5 Chun Yunshi today. I don't expect you to help your brother share those burdens. I only hope that you will not be a burden to him. He is too emotional and too weak. The more he worries, the more he will fall into a demonic barrier. You are different from others. If others die, he will not go crazy. If you die, he will collapse. He is also different from others. Those grandmasters and those at the peak care about their families, but they are not as stubborn and crazy as him. I have accepted a few missions for you. Kill some rank 1 evil sect martial artists. Go and do the missions while your brother is not back yet. Fang Yuan bit her lip and nodded heavily. Soon, the little girl turned around and ran outside. After a while, Lu Polu suddenly appeared and said softly, You shouldn't have done this. If Fang Ping found out, he would hate you. He trusted you. That is why he handed his sister over to you. Bai Ruoshi said softly, Old Lu, I know. But the more he worries, the more unwilling he is, the easier it is for something to happen. Don't worry. I will keep up unless I die first. If I really die, he can't blame me. Bai Ruoshi sighed. People like us are powerless to share the burden. At least we can let his family have the ability to protect themselves. Since his sister has embarked on the path of martial arts, then continue on that path. As for his parents, let them be completely normal people. Lu Polu also let out a long sigh and quickly disappeared on the spot. It was time for him to think of a way to break through. The great MCMAU could become as strong as it was today, mostly thanks to Fang Ping. These people could die in battle, but Fang Ping could not. I hope everything goes well in Xishan. This thought flashed through Lu Polu's mind, and he quickly fell into silence. The southern area also began to fall silent. Everyone hoped that Fang Ping would go well. However, the moment Fang Ping arrived at Xishan, he felt that things were not going well. When Fang Ping arrived at Lianhua City, he had suffered a double blow. When the news of Fang Ping's arrival spread, Guangxing Temple at the foot of Taiyue Mountain suddenly closed its doors. Star City, which was still quite a distance away, Jiang Hao suddenly called him. Star City was busy these few days and did not welcome guests. Fang Ping came to Xishan again. When Star City received the news, they asked Jiang Hao to tell Fang Ping not to come to Star City. The reason why Guangxing Temple, which was also in Xishan province, closed its doors was because Guangxing Temple had the existence of resurrected martial artists. Fang Ping had abducted many resurrected martial artists to MCMAU. Some people did not know that those people were resurrected martial artists, but Guangxing Temple still knew. Therefore, to prevent the resurrected martial artists from being abducted, Guangxing Temple had no intention of welcoming guests. The meaning of closing the doors was very clear. They did not welcome guests today. They would not welcome guests no matter who came. It was not easy for Guangxing Temple to pass down its legacy until now. It was not easy for them to have a rank, 8th senior return. If he was abducted, how could they reason with him? Walking at the foot of Taiwa Mountain, looking at the closed Guangxing Temple in the distance, watching some monks peeping through the air, Fang Ping suddenly said loudly, "Ironhead, I heard that Guangxing Temple's Tripitaka is one of the strongest cultivation methods in the era of sections. It might involve mentality cultivation methods. After all, the Tripitaka has been passed down for 1,000 years. Do you want to go take a look? 1,000 years? At this point in time, it's really not impossible," Li Hansong added. "All the more reason to take a look. At the same time, I can talk to Master Mingji about life." Their voices were not low. Very soon, an old voice came from inside the temple. "Benefactors, if you really want to study the Tripitaka, the temple is willing to give you a rubbing. There is indeed no mentality cultivation method." Fang Ping laughed. "Master Mingji doesn't want to talk about martial arts with us. We can talk about Buddhism, too. I have done some research on this." After talking for a while, the monk in the temple did not utter a word. Fang Ping was a little bored. He sighed. "Forget it. Since we're not welcome, we don't have to talk. Really, we're not bandits. We're just admiring Guangxing Temple. How dare they reject us outside the door? This is too hurtful. Let's go. Ironhead, go to the entrance of Shishan. It's boring here. Let's go." Both of them looked bored and left quickly. After the two of them left, inside the temple, a young monk with delicate features looked at the old monk in front of him and said in a low voice, "Master, why didn't you let the demon general and Vajra general enter the temple?" The old monk's eyebrows turned white. He smiled bitterly. "Master is afraid that his Zen heart will be unstable and he will be bewitched and leave Guangxing Temple. Hui Hong and a few old friends have been living in seclusion in Star City for many years. If he goes there, Hui Hong and the others don't even need to use their titles. They can go to MCMAU and start all over again. If I leave this time, the 1,000-year legacy of Guangxing Temple might be destroyed. In the huge Guangxing Temple, he was the only rank 8 powerhouse at the moment. MCMAU Fang Ping had tricked Hui Hong and the others with a few words. He did not dare to talk to them in depth. Although he believed that he would not be swayed or bewitched, it was better not to talk if he could avoid it. The little monk was shocked. Even Master was worried about being bewitched. The demon general really had magical powers. At the same time, Fang Ping, who was already far away, was speechless. What's going on? Shouldn't leaders like me line the streets to welcome me wherever I go? Since when did I become ignored? Li Hansong shrugged. Who knew? It had nothing to do with him anyway. Forget it. Let's go. We'll go to the Shishan catacombs and meet up with Old Wang and the others. Really, I've just arrived, and I'm already being shunned. If the Shishan catacombs shuns me again, I'll beat them up. How can they chase a leader away? Yes, Ironhead, you're still the most reliable. You're worthy of being the great general under my command. Fang Ping, were there really 108 generals back then? I don't know. Then tell me, I think 108 sounds pretty nice. I'm just saying. Li Hansong glanced at him. Forget it, forget it. He would pretend that he did not hear it. He was the Celestial Emperor. I was the Northern General. Yes, that was it. He had said that he would not question him anymore. There was no point in asking now. Chapter 657, Shishan Catacombs, 17th Southern Territory. According to the catacombs history, the Shishan Catacombs was the first catacombs entrance discovered in Sino Nation. Of course, history of the catacombs was written during the Neo-Martial era. In 1303 AD, a great earthquake occurred in Shishan. That event was regarded by modern martial artists as the opening of the Shishan Catacombs. Similarly, Guangxing Temple also had records regarding the Shishan Catacombs. More than 700 years ago, the ancestors of Guangxing Temple had entered the celestial realm. After that, there was an earthquake, and the ancestors of Guangxing Temple died of fear. As Fong Ping and Ironhead walked deeper into Taiyu Mountain, he said, 1,000 years ago, when Unquestionable Sword and a group of people attacked the catacombs, did they open the North Lake Catacombs or the Nanjiang Catacombs? The North Lake Catacombs and the Nanjiang Catacombs were adjacent to each other. According to Fong Ping's speculation, the boundary between the two was the mysterious Purple Cave's illumination. Therefore, it was possible to attack any catacombs. However, back then, they had gathered at River Hill Prefecture, so the probability of them attacking the North Lake Catacombs was higher. Fong Ping continued, since we attacked the catacombs 1,000 years ago, then the North Lake Catacombs should be the first catacombs opened in the last years of the sect, right? Li Hansong said indifferently, are you going to write a book? If he was not going to compile a book, why would he care which catacombs opened first? Fong Ping said with a serious expression, we must be rigorous in our studies. It was the same for practicing martial arts. We still have to make it clear who will open first and who will open last. Li Hansong was mentally and emotionally exhausted. He said helplessly, perhaps the powerhouses of the sect world invaded the North Lake Catacombs back then and realized that they were no match for the catacombs powerhouses. Left with no other choice, they fought with their backs to the wall and sealed the entrance to the catacombs once again. That's why no one returned. This possibility was also very high. Therefore, it should not be a problem to say that the Shishan Catacombs was the first entrance to the modern catacombs to be opened. Is my explanation reasonable? Fong Ping glanced at him and nodded. That makes sense. The Shishan Catacombs can be considered the first catacombs to be opened during the end of martial arts era. As a matter of fact, Unquestionable Jian and the others should have failed. They didn't want the end of the martial era to happen, but it still happened in the end. Until the time of Jinxing, China still had very few powerhouses. In that battle 1,000 years ago, those people should have been defeated. Of course, it was not a complete failure. Perhaps it was precisely because of their actions that the catacombs opened one by one. From then on, the catacombs slowly opened from the martial end era, ushering in the stellar era and the new martial era. Previously, Fong Ping did not think too much about it. Now, Fong Ping suddenly said, Ironhead, the catacombs entrances are opening one by one. It may seem like it's giving humans a crisis, but in reality, it's also giving humans time to rise. Since 700 years ago, the Shishan Catacombs had been opened. At that time, it delayed the arrival of the martial last days era and prevented martial arts from completely dying out. After a few hundred years, the entrance to the catacombs opened bit by bit. Don't you think it's a little strange? Li Hansong said gloomily, there are. For example, after the Shishan Catacombs opened, why didn't Shishan invade the human world? For example, where did the Patriarch of Stellar Sky City come from? Why did they know that the catacombs would open? And why did they start guarding Mount Imperial Sea to protect humanity? The catacombs passageways were opened one by one, not all at once. Was it necessary, or was it controlled by someone? I've thought about all of this, but I don't think there's a need to think too deeply about it. After a while, Li Hansong said, "Is it necessary to know or not to know some things?" For example, Li Hansong mumbled, "Are you the heavenly emperor or not?" The corner of Fang Ping's mouth twitched. This guy was very clear in his heart. He might have suspected it a long time ago, but he did not care about this now. It was probably a tacit agreement, whether it was true or not. If he thought it was true, then it was true. The two of them did not speak anymore. Very soon, they arrived at the entrance to the Shishan catacombs. As soon as the two of them arrived, they were seen by the patrolling military martial artists. When they saw Fang Ping and Li Hansong, the rank 5 lieutenant leader immediately said loudly, "Greetings, Grand General! Greetings, General Li." Fang Ping had a military rank in the military department, the rank of general. Li Hansong, Yao Chengjun, Wang Jinyang, and the others all had the rank of general. These military ranks in the military department were not given to just anyone. On MCMAU's side, there were so many Grandmaster level powerhouses. Currently, only Fang Ping, Li Hansong, Tang Feng, Old Man Li, and Wu Quishan had military ranks. The others did not have positions in the military department. MCMAU had quite a number of lieutenants, but there were only a few general-level people. As for the Grand General, Fang Ping and Wu Quishan were the only ones in MCMAU currently. Wu Quishan was only a nominal title given by the military department after achieving rank 9. Fang Ping glanced at the lieutenant leader and laughed suddenly. "Senior Zhang, there's no need to be so polite. Are you the one patrolling the periphery of the Shishan catacombs?" "Grand General, you know me?" The lieutenant leader was a little excited, but also a little surprised. Fang Ping chuckled. "Of course. Senior Zhang is a graduate from the 2006 batch. He's also an upper stage MCMAU rank 3 elite student. I can't believe that in just 4 years, Senior Zhang has already reached rank 5. When Fang Ping mentioned these, the young lieutenant said excitedly, "I've been paying attention to my alma mater. When I graduated, the school was always suppressed by CCMAU. There were only a few rank 4 graduates. But today, under the leadership of Vice Chancellor Wu and Vice Chancellor Fang, our alma mater is becoming stronger and stronger. This is also the glory of all MCMAU graduates. I heard that there are thousands of middle-ranked martial artists now. Every time it's mentioned, students feel honored. Especially the battle to annihilate Sky Gate City. It's a great honor for MCMAU. It's a pity that I was on a mission at that time and couldn't return to my alma mater to participate in this battle. It's a lifelong regret. This rank 5 martial artist was unusually excited at this moment. Originally, he thought that Fang Ping would not know him at all. He did not expect Fang Ping to know him, a student who had already graduated. He and Fang Ping did not have any interactions at all. He graduated in 2006. Fang Ping only entered the school in 2008. This lieutenant was so excited that he was a little talkative. The troop of martial artists he led was a little strange. Their lieutenant was not even 30 years old this year. He had made countless contributions and had become a real general. He was not like Fang Ping and the others who only held positions. Usually, he was a man of few words. Unexpectedly, he became a chatterbox today. However, when they thought of the 2 Grandmaster-level powerhouses standing in front of them, and they were also the real prodigy martial artists of the current generation, everyone could understand. Not to mention, these 2 people, especially Fang Ping, was now MCMU's vice-chancellor. Fang Ping waited for him to speak for a while, then smiled and said, "It's good that you have this intention. Senior Zhang, you don't have to feel sorry. The enemy has been annihilated by us. If you have time, You can also return to MCMAU. MCMAU is getting better and better now. I believe it will be even better. Definitely. Lieutenant Zhang looked excited. Then he thought of business and said quickly, Vice Chancellor Fang, Governor General Wang, and Vice Chancellor Yao have arrived. They are in the base. However, Xishan Military Department has ordered that the Grandmasters are not allowed to enter the catacombs. Fang Ping was speechless. He quickly recovered and smiled. The commander of Xishan Military Department is Commander Du. Commander Du Hong. Fang Ping's face was blank. After a while, he said, Du Hong is the commander? Lieutenant Zhang said quickly. He was transferred not long ago. Commander Du advanced to Grandmaster and was transferred from the headquarters. This year, Xishan is open to new martial arts university students. The previous military department strength was only rank 6. It was no longer enough to ensure the safety of the students. Therefore, the military department transferred Commander Du here. Also, General Li is the deputy. Which General Li? Fang Ping realized that the surname Li was indeed a common surname. There were too many people with the surname Li. There were a few Commander Li alone, not to mention General Li Yiming. Him. Fang Ping was amused. Why is this guy here? He seems to have reached rank 7-2. Why is he willing to be Du Hong's deputy? All in all, the government still attached great importance to Xishan. The military branch alone had transferred 2 Grandmaster-level powerhouses here. One had to know that many local military branches did not even have a single Grandmaster. Both Du Hong and Li Yiming had broken through rank 7 not long ago. He did not expect both of them to be transferred to Xishan. Du Hong had even participated in the Sky Gate battle a few days ago. As he said that, Fang Ping smiled again. I'm old friends with them. The military department must have passed the wrong order. Why would they stop us? You're the one who's stopping us. As soon as he said that, a man in military uniform used flight step from afar. Li Yiming said casually, Fang Ping, old Du, and I just came to Xishan. Don't give us trouble. I'm afraid of you, okay? Xishan is open to new students this year. It's used as an arcane realm. You know how difficult it is for Sino Nation to conquer a relatively safe catacombs. Even Tianan and Magic City are not as safe as Xishan now. Not everyone in the martial arts universities is like MCMAU with abundant resources. Martial arts universities are expanding enrollment this year. Many schools can't afford the cultivation of new students. They can only rush to Xishan and cultivate there. If you cause trouble, where can we go to reason with you? I've just become a general. If something happens, won't I be fired in an instant? Fang Ping's expression was unfriendly. Li Yiming, now that you've become a general, you're acting all high and mighty? I'm a great general. I'm here to investigate the Xishan catacombs. You're actually stopping me from entering. What are your intentions? Li Yiming rolled his eyes. Without another word, he took out a phone and said, Don't look for me. I'll call my grandfather and ask, okay? He said to let you in. Of course, I have no objections. Nonsense! Fang Ping scolded. Such a small matter, troubling Commander Li. Don't bend the law for personal gain. Just because you're Commander Li's family, Li Yiming could not help but scold. Who's bending the law for personal gain? I'm telling you, don't you accuse me wrongly. It's not like I've never gone to the catacombs with you before. I still remember what happened last time. If you go in, can anything good happen? The closest city to us in the Xishan catacombs is thousands of miles away. Usually, both sides rarely have disputes or fights. This place has been peaceful for a long time. If you come in and do something big and disturb peace, Who's going to bear the responsibility? Get lost. I'm not that kind of person. How can you say something like that? Why can't I say it? Li Yiming, I'm warning you. I've tolerated you for a long time. Don't think that just because your grandfather is Commander Li, I'm afraid of you. Let me remind you, I'm now friends with Minister Zhang's children as equals. When you see me in terms of military rank, you have to call me Chief. In terms of seniority, you have to call me Uncle Fong. You're shouting at me now. What a scandal. Also, in terms of strength, I'm third among rank 7. You're at the bottom of the list as a rank 7. No matter what, you have to be more obedient when you see me. How dare you talk to me in the air? Who gave you the right? Come down. Li Yiming's face almost turned into Guan Yu's. After a while, he landed and said angrily, "Don't give me that. The 4 of you, what are you doing here this time? 1 isn't enough. 4 of you. Once you enter the catacombs, it's very likely that you'll be targeted by the other party. You'll really be in trouble. You don't have to worry about that. When we go in, the other party won't know. Once rank 7 enters, that's none of your business. Don't worry." Li Yiming was speechless. He said with an unfriendly expression, "Let's go to the base first. Then I'll contact Minister Zhang and the others. It's not like you don't know what's going on at the Purple Forbidden City. At this time, it's indeed not suitable for the other catacombs to cause trouble." Fong Ping's expression was even worse than his. He glared at him fiercely. "These few days, I've been very unhappy. I've almost become the target of everyone's criticism. If others are not stronger than me or older than me, I can't say anything. If you dare to say another word of nonsense, I'll beat you up today." Li Yiming's expression was dull and a little sad. "You want to beat me up? Why? I'm not the only one who said it. Aren't you bullying the weak and fearing the strong? Do you really think that my grandfather doesn't exist?" Fong Ping snorted. He glanced at him and stared at him for a while. "I've been eyeing your peerless inner armor since the beginning. If you speak again, I'll beat you up. After I'm done, I'll pick up your peerless inner armor while I'm at it. As for Commander Li, leave him to old Zhang." He snatched old Li's grandson. Old Zhang should be very happy. He heard that recently old Zhang had the intention to surpass old Li and snatch the number 1 rank, 9 ranking in Sino Nation. He did not know if it was true. Li Yiming sighed again. In the past, he was arrogant and despotic. He would beat whoever he wanted, bully whoever he wanted. Now forget it. The younger generation had a few more arrogant and despotic ones. Fong Ping and the few bastards were like living bandits. Last time in the Imperial battleground, they beat whoever they wanted. He should just ignore them. Shishan Catacombs entrance. The catacombs entrance was surrounded by the military camp. Here, a troop of nearly 10,000 people was stationed. Fong Ping and the others had just arrived at the entrance of the military camp when Du Hong, Wang Jinyang, and Yao Chengjun walked out together. Seeing Fong Ping, Du Hong smiled bitterly and said, "Answer the phone." Having said that, he passed the phone in his hand to Fong Ping. Fong Ping picked up the phone. Before he could speak, Zhang Tao on the other end of the line scolded loudly. "Tell me, what do you want to do? Can't you just stop for a few days? Even if you wait until I'm done with the Forbidden Catacombs before you enter the catacombs, that's fine too. But at this time, tell me, what do you want to do?" Fong Ping held the phone a little further away. After Zhang Tao had finished scolding, he said helplessly, "Minister, I'm just going to look for something." "It's not like you don't know. Now is just the right time. They're all keeping an eye on the Forbidden Catacombs. We can sneak in. Otherwise, normally, there are true kings keeping an eye on the bounded zones. Am I right? Now that the 2 catacombs are connected, The true kings nearby should have all gone to the forbidden catacombs, right? Don't worry, we're going to the Trichine catacombs and the Shishan catacombs in the west. We won't cause any trouble if we don't go to the other side. I didn't say I'm going to blow up the royal city this time, nor did I say I'm going to destroy the city. I didn't say I'm going to destroy the forbidden zones, and I didn't go to Mount Imperial Sea either. As Fang Ping said this, the corners of Li Yiming and Du Hong's mouths twitched. Are you sure? You're rank 7? Listen, why do you think you're at the pinnacle that you can destroy the royal city just because you want to? You want to go to the bounded zones. Zhang Tao pondered for a moment, then said, Kid, the bounded zones are extremely dangerous. You've been there before, so you should know better. Moreover, right now you might not be able to enter. After saying that, he added, Moreover, the token you have might not correspond to this place. Fang Ping was speechless. I have a token. Did I tell you? Did I tell you? You even know about this. What else do you not know? Minister, can you not eavesdrop next time? Who are you talking about? Zhang Tao's tone was fierce. What's the situation with MCMAU? You're pushing the blame on me for your own bad deeds. Tang Feng is not in his right mind, questioning me the moment he arrived. Why am I bringing down the martial arts university's culture? There are hundreds of martial arts universities. Which one is like MCMAU? I've brought bad culture. What culture have I brought bad culture? That idiot actually pushed the blame to me. Fang Ping asked dryly, Where is Teacher Tang now? It's buried in the ground. Fang Ping was tired. I knew it. Big Lion was so stupid. It was adorably silly. Zhang Tao did not say much. He quickly said, The West Mountain Catacombs is bordered by the 3 Qin dynasty and the Forbidden Catacombs. The Forbidden Catacombs is under the jurisdiction of the Huai King, and the West Mountain Catacombs is under the jurisdiction of the Maple King. Head Feng King. Which Feng King? Which Feng King are you talking about? Fang Ping swallowed his saliva and asked, Then on our side, is there anyone guarding the Shishan catacombs? Yes, a great war is about to break out soon. Guardian Chen has gone to Shishan, and Guardian Shen has gone to Capital City's catacombs. When the great war breaks out, I'll be guarding the Forbidden City. But I want to make it clear to you that the domain is extremely important to both sides. Usually, no one would be allowed to barge in. If you make a ruckus, people will soon find out. Even if the true king doesn't go there personally, the god generals under him will rush over quickly. Last time in Tiannan, both sides agreed and compromised. Just look at the Rose City Lord. Even someone like him wouldn't dare to enter casually. Once he enters and is discovered, it'll be a great crime. It's the same with humans. If you barge in recklessly, you'll be hunted down very quickly. After Zhang Tao finished, he continued, Also, don't underestimate the domain and the Forbidden Sea. Don't think that you'll be fine this time just because you came back safely last time. The domain over in Tiannan, relatively speaking, isn't very lethal. It's not mainly for killing, but for defense. I've never been to the Shishan domain, so I don't know the specifics. But in some of the domain, the forbidden land on the periphery is mainly for killing, the kind that actively kills. Kid, I want you to go to the domain and see if you can get your hands on a mentality cultivation method. But the chances of you dying there are higher. Once you're sucked into the space rift, no one can save you. Fang Ping pondered for a moment, saying, But if I don't look for a cultivation method, my mentality will increase very slowly. Even if it's me, I'll need at least 3 to 5 months to reach upper stage rank 7. Rank 8, rank 9, I'll need to increase my mentality to elevate my rank. If I follow my current speed, I'll need 3 to 5 months to reach rank 8, at least 1 or 2 years to reach rank 9, and maybe 5 to 6 years or even 7 to 8 years to reach the peak. Are you showing off to me? Zhang Tao's tone was fierce. Fang Ping said innocently, "What's there to show off?" "I don't mean that. Minister, you're overthinking it. When I reach the peak, I'm afraid I'll be almost 30 years old. By then, the war might be over. What's there to show off about? I want to reach the peak as soon as possible, so of course I have to hurry to find a cultivation method. If I can't do it here, then I'll go to another domain. That's the fastest way to find it. Am I right, Minister?" Zhang Tao was mentally exhausted. Beside him, Li Yiming and Du Hong were looking up at the sky. Continue showing off. Reach the peak before 30 years old. Also, this guy had an attitude of, "I can definitely reach it, but it's too slow." With this attitude, Zhang Tao would not be here. Otherwise, he would have hammered him to death on the spot. This was 2F** King infuriating. After a long time, Zhang Tao sighed. "Go. Be careful, kid. If you fall, then Yao Qingjun and the others will fall too. Initially, I was thinking of letting you guys cultivate in peace and do it step by step. But you guys are not the kind of people who can sit still. I can understand that you want to find cultivation methods. I can understand that you want to find cultivation methods for mentality, and you also want to find cultivation methods for myriad Daos to unite. In short, do your best. If things don't work out, leave the catacombs as soon as possible. Also, the domain may not be empty. The domain may not be empty of living people." Zhang Tao said in a serious tone. "Have the people in the domain really died out? No one can guarantee this. Maybe there are living people in deep sleep in the domain. Besides, the Chun family seems to have people in the domain that you're going to. I'm not sure whether they're there or not. If you go there and see people from the Chun family, I'm warning you, you better inform me in advance. I don't want to see what happened to the Yang family a second time. If you inform them, the Chun family won't make things difficult for you. The domain is thousands of miles long. You might not run into them. Also, the other party might have already died in there. Even the best can't monitor the situation in the domain all the time. Is that so? All right, I understand." Zhang Tao said, then added, "You're not allowed to go to the royal city. If you dare to stir up chaos in the Shishan catacombs at this time, I'll smack you to death. I'll really smack you to death. You ruined the forbidden catacombs. I won't forgive you. Do you hear me? I promise I won't go." "That's it then. Wait there for a while. I'll get someone to send you something." "What is it?" "It's to save your life. Take it easy. Don't use it carelessly. If it causes a riot." Fang Ping suddenly thought of something and said in surprise, "There's no need for that. I heard that thing consumes a lot of mentality. Don't you have to guard the forbidden catacombs?" He remembered. The last time he went to the domain, the Yang family brought the word guard and a small pine tree in the forbidden zone. That was made by a desperate realm powerhouse who split a part of their mentality. For a top powerhouse, if it was destroyed, the damage would be great. King Pine's small tree was destroyed last time, and it took a long time to recuperate. There's no harm in being prepared. Besides, I, a martial king, am incomparably powerful. How can trash like King Pine compare to me? Zhang Tao hung up immediately after he finished speaking. Fang Ping hung up too, tossing the phone to Du Hong, sighing. Minister Zhang treats me like a son, Li Yiming said impatiently. Do you have to elevate your seniority? Why don't I call you old ancestor? Do you dare to agree? Du Hong's expression froze. What kind of people do I know? Fang Ping was also speechless. This guy was ruthless. He did not dare. If he agreed, Li Zhen would beat him to death if he found out. The Li family's suppressing heavenly king might also beat him to death. What kind of people were these? How could the Li family be like this? Shameless. Chapter 658. Headquarters. Du Hong pointed at the map and introduced Shishan Catacombs, Sino Nation's first catacombs. There are not many cities in Shishan Catacombs, and they are all near the inner circle. There are no catacombs cities within 300 miles of the Forbidden Sea. Shishan Catacombs has Shishan City, which is currently the second largest city after the capital city Catacombs. It can accommodate 200,000 people. Du Hong gave a brief introduction and said, if you want to go to the boundary zone, it's safer than other catacombs. You don't have to pass through the royal city territory. However, all the catacombs are covered by forbidden zones outside the boundary zone. Shishan Catacombs have two forbidden zones, Boundless Mountain in the west and East Sea Island in the east. At this point, Du Hong explained, East Sea Island is actually surrounded by the Forbidden Sea tributary. It's really dangerous over there. It can be considered a forbidden zone of the Forbidden Sea. Fortunately, you want to go to Boundless Mountain in the west. It's safer than East Sea Island. Beside him, Li Yiming continued, the demons in Boundless Mountain are mainly monster plants. There are not many monster plants, but they are very powerful. There are a few rank 9 monster plants in Boundless Mountain. Take it easy. Rank 9 monster plants are quite scary. Fang Ping nodded slightly. His fingers swept across Shishan City, all the way to the boundary zone in the west. He said, do you have data on how far it is exactly? About 1,600 miles. Du Hong said, when humans entered this place, they went to explore, but it's just an estimate. The difference won't be too big. Boundless Mountain is about 1,200 miles west of Shishan City. The remaining 400 miles are all covered by Boundless Mountain. All the way to the Forbidden Sea tributary is the boundary zone. Then the boundary zone in the east. Du Hong frowned slightly. Fang Ping, aren't you going to the boundary zone in the west that is connected to the Trichin Catacombs? Yes, Fang Ping smiled. But if we can't find it while we're at it, everyone's faces darkened. Fang Ping explained, within Sino Nation, there are a total of 8 intact boundary zones. 1 in Tiannan, 1 in Nanjiang, 1 in Magic City, 1 on both sides of Beihu. However, Beihu overlaps with Nanjiang and Tiannan. The other 2 in Shishan also overlaps with the Trichin and Forbidden Zones. There aren't many places that are in good condition. Both sides of the West Mountain are in good condition. Since we're here, if we can't find anything in the west, it's necessary to go to the east. Du Hong frowned. After a long time, he said, West Mountain City is 1,400 miles away from the Eastern Sea Island in the east. The Eastern Sea Island isn't big, spanning only a few dozen miles. However, it's surrounded by the Forbidden Sea and is extremely dangerous. A span of 3,000 miles. What about the depth? About 2,000 miles in depth. Fang Ping laughed. It's not that big. It's about 1.5 million square kilometers, which is about the same size as Shijiang. It's barely 1/3 the size of Magic City's catacombs. It's not too big. Du Hong was not surprised by Fang Ping's tone. The Shishan catacombs was indeed not as big as the other catacombs. The Magic City catacombs spanned nearly 10,000 miles from east to west. In this regard, the West Mountain catacombs could not compare. The area of Shishan catacombs is considered to be one of the last few in Sino Nation's catacombs outer realm. There aren't many cities either, only 8 in total. The Monster Plant clan had 5 cities, while the Monster Life clan had 3. It was also because of this that there had been peace for many years. This side's strength was not considered strong, but it was still relatively speaking. There were 16 rank, 9 powerhouses. There were probably close to 10 rank, 9 demons in the 2 big, forbidden lands. With so many rank 9s, you can't afford to provoke them. Fong Ping, don't do anything rash. Du Hong said, and finally said, if you guys go in, we'll have to evacuate the new students in the city. Recently, new students from various martial arts universities have come here to cultivate. Right now, there are more than 10,000 new students in West Mountain City. If chaos breaks out, these people will have nowhere to run. Fong Ping said impatiently, evacuate, evacuate. I've said it before, I won't do anything rash. Do you guys really think that I'll look for trouble for no reason? In the past, it was all an accident. Shishan catacombs are so poor. Do you expect me to go to Royal City to mine? Besides, I have a mine. I don't care about that. Right now, to me, the most important thing is cultivation methods. Everything else has to wait. You guys, each and every one of you is worrying too much. Du Hong did not say anything. No matter how much he worried, evacuating the people was still necessary. More than 10,000 new students. Half of them were not even martial artists. If chaos broke out, they would not even have time to escape. Fong Ping said, which High Grandmaster is guarding the Shishan catacombs? High Grandmaster Fong Yu. Hearing that, Fong Ping's eyes lit up instantly. It's not easy. I've finally met someone from the same clan. 36 High Grandmasters. A few with the surname Li, Zhang, Wu, Zhao. I've read them over and over again. There's only one with the surname Fong. I've finally met him. Du Hong said weakly, isn't this normal? What's there to be happy about? So what if your surname is Fong? According to what you said, there are many grandmasters with the surname Li. Do you think you can make connections with all the Li in Sino Nation? Fong Ping ignored him, chuckling. High Grandmaster Fong Yu is guarding the Shishan catacombs. This is the first time I've heard of it. High Grandmaster Fong isn't weak. He doesn't have a rank 9 divine weapon and is ranked 14th in the rank 9 ranking. In terms of strength, he's much stronger than our vice chancellor and 1 rank higher than Old Fan. The government really values Shishan. Shishan catacombs is only this big, Li Yiming said casually. He's also shameless. How can he be ranked 14th? Old Fan just doesn't want to fight for it. He was clearly ranked 16th before, but the next day he was ranked 14th. Fong Ping's expression was blank. What did he mean? Beside him, Li Hansong swallowed and said dryly, I heard that the 2 presidents of the Martial Arts Association recently submitted their resignations. They're not doing this anymore. Is that true? Li Yiming said lazily, it's true. The 2 presidents said that they want to go down to the catacombs and fight. They won't do this kind of thing that doesn't contribute anything. Of course, they weren't allowed to, so they continued. Anyway, the atmosphere hasn't been very good recently. Really? My grandfather said that the atmosphere has changed recently and needs to be corrected. I've even considered whether to set up a high rank rule. Don't just threaten people for no reason. All of you are learning from others. 2 days ago, I asked the 2 presidents to promote a few names for me. The 2 presidents almost rushed to my house and beat me up. They've gone too far. It's not like I was the first to do it. Pick on the weak. Li Yiming said, helplessly, you people have done too much in the past. Now we can't do it anymore. If we do it again, the 2 presidents will really explode. Let me tell you, don't take the rank 9 ranking list seriously. It's the most fake list. Other than the top 10, no, the top 10 is a little fake. The most fake is the 26th place at the back. You guys know that the Martial Arts Association president is only a rank 8. He's no match for a rank 9. Rank 8s can still be intimidated, but rank 9s can't be controlled. If your ranking is low, they'll find trouble with you. They'll take their heads at the drop of a hat. Do you know why the 2 presidents resigned? Fang Ping said with a face full of gossip. Tell me, isn't it because of you guys? Li Yiming looked at him disdainfully. He said it as if he did not threaten them. Because of Chief Nan. Li Yiming said with a sigh, Chief Nan is about to break through. Once he breaks through, what do you think the two presidents will do? If nothing goes wrong, Chief Nan will break through. The ranking list must change. How? Enter the top 3? First place. Whoever overtakes, it will be a big deal. If it doesn't change, will it still be 5th place? Can the 5th place show that Chief Nan has broken through? The two presidents are smart. Men, after all, are slightly better. No matter how my grandfather and Chief Zhang rank, it's not a big deal. But they can't fight at the top. How will they line up with Chief Nan? That's a huge problem. Chief Nan is a woman. No matter how old a woman is, she'll always be calculative. Anyway, if it were me, I'd have a headache too. This time, the two presidents are really going to fall. Now, no one is willing to take the blame. If they want to run, who will agree? Wang Jinyang and the others at the side felt like they were listening to a heavenly book. Du Hong was so stunned that he could not make a sound. There were so many rules in a ranking list. Li Yiming chuckled and said, Don't look at me like that. It's all true. Fang Ping knows it himself. How did he get his single devil title? Don't you know? This matter has something to do with Fang Ping. MCMAU is too high profile. Before this, no one knew that it was possible to threaten people to change their ranking and title. But your dean, Li, was the first to make a public threat. Not long after, he became the first rank. 8. You're going to be the 3rd rank. 7 soon. Moreover, your title changes again and again. How can this be? Now, how can everyone not know? When the Grandmaster ranking was first released, it was still credible. Now, it's half true and half false. However, this kind of unhealthy trend will probably be corrected. It depends on whether Chief Nan can be suppressed this time. If Chief Nan is ranked 5th, that means he's suppressed. 4th, that is relative truth. 3rd, that is to give face to women. If it's 1st or 2nd, this ranking list will be unreadable in the future. The few of them chatted idly, but Li Hansong looked tempted. Names could be changed? I didn't even know about this. F***CK. If I knew, I would have done it too. Was it too late now? Li Yiming knew a lot of gossip, but he did not dare to say some of it. Everyone gossiped. When the sky turned dark, someone came. The minister gave it to you. At the headquarters, Minister Wang panted. This time, he came using flight step. Fortunately, Xishan was not far from capital city. As he spoke, Minister Wang handed a crystal book to Fang Ping. Fang Ping took it in his hands and looked at it. After checking it, he asked curiously, Is this the kind of thing similar to an avatar created by peerless cutting mentality? Yes, Minister Wang said with a straight face. Fang Ping, you have to know that this thing is created by cutting with peerless mentality. Cutting, not consumption. Do you understand what I mean? Fang Ping frowned. You mean cutting can't recover, but consumption can? Yes. Minister Wang took a deep breath and said seriously, That's why even peerless mentality won't do this easily. I know what happened before. During the battle in Tiannan, Pine King cut his mentality and created something similar to an avatar, but he did it for the impasses remains. It's the same over at Star Town. Everyone has a purpose, a big one. That's why they will exhaust their origin and mentality at all costs. But this time, the minister has no purpose. Fang Ping, if it was before, I wouldn't say anything. Whether you appreciate it or not, the minister wouldn't care. But this time, you must remember this favor. Once this thing is destroyed, the minister's mentality will be severely damaged. Perhaps there will not be a drop in rank, but his strength will be partially affected. That's why, unless it's absolutely necessary, don't use it. If it's not destroyed, the minister can still retrieve it. If you use it and it's destroyed, then it'll be troublesome. It can be retrieved? Yes. Fang Ping nodded slightly and said, "Is there the minister's origin Dao inside? If it's taken away, will it cause any impact?" "There's not much origin Dao, but it's been taken away. If it's taken away by a true king, you must prevent the other party from suddenly destroying this when they're fighting with the minister, causing a momentary stagnation in the minister." "You understand?" "Understood." Fang Ping frowned slightly. "Actually, it's fine, even if I don't want this. It's for self-defense. If you really encounter a rank 9, you can use your mentality to pull it and throw it out. Outside the boundaries, you might not be able to kill a rank 9, but in the boundaries, the probability of a rank 9 being killed is very high. Even if it's outside the boundaries, blocking and resisting a rank 9 is still effective." As Minister Wang said, he continued, "I still have to say it again. Losing some origin, Dao won't affect the pinnacle combat strength. The opponent may not be able to comprehend the pinnacle origin Dao. That's why origin Dao is important, but it has nothing to do with strength. However, if this is destroyed, it will definitely affect the strength. It's just a matter of how much. The importance of the two, one may affect the future. The other will affect the present immediately. And now, the minister's strength cannot be regressed. Actually, we don't agree with the minister giving this to you. But the minister said that it's also a big deal that you need to find mentality cultivation methods. He insisted, and we can't do anything about it. Fang Ping, don't blame me for saying too much. Don't use it unless it's a life and death situation, okay?" Fang Ping chuckled. "I understand. How can I not understand this? Don't worry, I won't use it unless I'm killed. Later, I'll get more imperishable substances and wrap this in a few hundred layers. It shouldn't be destroyed so easily." Minister Wang's expression stiffened. Fang Ping rubbed his chin again and said, "How about a few thousand layers? I just don't know if it will affect my performance at the critical moment. If I wrap it too tightly at the critical moment and it can't be unleashed, then I'll be dumbfounded. Also, can I use the imperishable substances to maintain it forever? Can you not let this little minister be completely destroyed?" "Little minister? Cough, cough. Isn't this the minister's mentality clone? It's from the same source, so it's considered a part of the minister, right?" "Little minister, right?" Minister Wang was speechless. For a moment, he did not know what to say. Fang Ping ignored him and continued, "Don't worry. Tell the minister that even if I really use it, then I'll be able to get the corresponding things back. I'll only do it if it's cost-effective. For example, when I'm about to get the cultivation method and someone stops me, I'll use this thing to kill the opponent. That's a must. But if it's not cost-effective, I won't do it. When have I, Fang Ping, ever made a losing deal? Oh, right, Polaris City has the word. Town. Pine King is a small pine tree. Why is the minister a book? A wordless crystal book. It has something to do with the minister's origin path. I'm not too sure about the specifics. Besides, the minister is the minister of the education ministry. It's normal to condense it into a book. Don't always care about these useless things. All right, one last question. When will the Forbidden Catacombs battle be held? We're still waiting. Waiting for Minister Nan to come out of closed-door cultivation. Once Minister Nan comes out, the battle will begin. We can't drag it out for too long. Is Minister Nan really going to break through this time? That's right. Minister Wang said with some delight, Minister Nan has broken through. The number of paragons in Sino Nation will be restored to how it was before. With one more paragon, our pressure will be much less. Uh-huh, I understand. Fong Ping chuckled. Then he sighed. It's not that easy to receive favors from others. Minister Wang, how about you? Next time when you speak, put on a more natural expression. You're already a rank. You don't even know this. The minister taught you to say these few words. Please don't add more words into it. If I'm not wrong, he should be asking you to properly express his hardships, his sacrifices, his hardships. You have to say it so bluntly. Sigh, as a deputy minister, your standards really aren't up to par. I'm not looking down on you. Minister Wang's expression was incomparably stiff. Fong Ping shook his head. A small golden sun appeared in his hand. He sighed. Here, take it back. Let the minister decide how to split it. Really, I didn't say that I don't appreciate it. Why did you have to be so blunt? Why did you have to take advantage of it? You're afraid that I don't know, asking you to explain it so clearly. You're a rank. What do you know? Do you know that a paragon has to sever his mentality? Besides, he severed it. It was just a short while. How can you know about this and still persuade him? Don't tell me he had a meeting to discuss it. Next time, you must pay attention to logical problems. Don't do this again. Minister Wang looked ashamed. I don't want to live anymore. I'm a rank 8 deputy minister. I'm being looked down upon. Although he was too ashamed to face anyone, Minister Wang still took the small golden sun. He swallowed and said, So much. Yeah, I'm about to kill myself. I've squeezed myself dry, and I've finally produced so much. Fong Ping sighed. That's more than 1,000 units of imperishable substance. It's comparable to the imperishable substance of a few rank 9s. I'm lucky that I was a monarch in my past life. Otherwise, I would have killed myself. Minister, if you need anything next time, just say it directly. You have to beat around the bush. That's not generous at all. Minister Wang said wearily, If I said it directly, wouldn't I owe you a favor? You gave it to me on your own accord. That would make me look better. You still say that I don't understand? Fong Ping pursed his lips and said no more. He chased him away. You should go back. Don't get robbed on the way. Li Yiming and the others are watching. If they call his grandfather later, something might happen on the way. Minister Wang's expression changed. Without another word, he leaped into the air and disappeared on the spot. Li Yiming said sheepishly, What are you saying? Am I that kind of person? As they talked, Wang Jinyang and the others did not say a word. In today's martial arts world, grandmasters could no longer be looked at directly. Previously, the few of them were actually quite touched by Minister Wang's words. It really wasn't easy for old Zhang. He really valued everyone. In the end, Fong Ping said that old Zhang had taught Wang Qinghai to say it. The image of the stalwart minister Zhang collapsed in an instant. The key point was that Fong Ping could see through it in the blink of an eye. What did this mean? It meant that this bastard was the same as old Zhang. If it were him, he would probably do the same. Birds of a feather. Yao Chengjun looked left and right. After a long time, he said softly, Old Wang, do you think that only this kind of person can be a good leader? Wang Jinyang was silent for a long time. After a while, he said, Maybe leaders are like this. That's true. How can they be leaders if they care too much about their face? They know that they'll suffer if they try to impress others at their own cost. In the past, I didn't care too much about my face. But when I reached middle rank and high rank, I thought that I should care about my image more or less. I can't be too unscrupulous. But reality has proven that if you care about your face, then don't care about benefits. You saw it. Out of the 5 grandmasters in Constellation City, both of US didn't manage to invite any of them. If both of us had his face and bragged for a while, if you bragged a few more times, saying that when you recover your strength, you'll help everyone recover their strength from their past lives, or even further, do you think anyone will go with you that day? If you use the Hall of Myriad Origins as bait, saying that you control the Hall of Myriad Origins and help them cultivate, then bragging a few more times that you control a territory, do you think no one will go with you? Sigh. I was too concerned about my face that day. I can't believe I didn't say it out loud. What a pity. Yao Qingjun looked thoughtful. He nodded slightly. I understand. What do you understand? If the territory we're going to this time is really my home, then I'll make it clear with him. Everyone will share the cultivation methods, and all the resources will be mine. Old Wang Jinyong cursed in his heart. Is that all you've thought of? Speaking of which, if it's your home, why can't it be mine? If it's my home this time, I'll take it all for myself too. The resources will be mine, and the cultivation methods will be shared. Anyway, Fong Ping does not lack resources. Also, that token, that Zhang Xian token was obtained by him. When the time comes to settle the score, he would have to make it clear. Both of them understood. They looked at each other and nodded slightly. They had a tacit understanding. Beside them, Li Hansong could not be bothered to look at them. 2 idiots. Do you have storage rings? No, I don't think so. If you don't, do you want Fong Ping to bring it? If you don't give half of the good stuff to Fong Ping, this bastard will say that the storage ring is malfunctioning and can't be taken out. When that time comes, you'll cry to death. Even if you don't say malfunctioning, what storage fees, labor fees, transportation fees. Just wait for the fees to come, and you'll vomit blood. Take it all for yourself. Dream on. The more he thought about it, the more Li Hansong felt that these people lacked intelligence. A sense of superiority arose spontaneously. He was the one with the true wisdom. That's true. Otherwise, why would my ranking be higher than these 2 fellows? These 2 fellows' rankings have always been above mine. Old Jiao is already a middle stage rank, 7, but he's still not as good as me. Sure enough, wisdom will also make your strength improve faster. Not far away, Fong Ping swept a glance at the 3 of them. Seeing that they all had thoughtful expressions on their faces, he cursed silently. 3 idiots! My home. Is the bounded domain really your home? No matter whose home, I can imitate their aura. That's my home. Fong Ping was secretly pleased with himself. Very quickly, he put on a straight face and said, "Let's go. Schwandegrada, we're coming." As soon as he finished speaking, the few of them headed straight for the entrance of the catacombs. Behind them, Du Hong quickly ordered some people from the military department. Start evacuating. Please remember this book's original domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor mobile version website. Chapter 659. Shishan City. Upon entering the catacombs, Fong Ping checked his wealth. He did not know if he could gain anything this time. Wealth, 183. 6 million points vitality. 18,000 calories. 18,000 calories. Mentality, 2,210 hertz. 2,210 hertz. Destruction power. Bone honing, 177 bones, 100%. 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus. Energy shield, 1 point/minute plus aura simulation, 10 points/minute plus. He had given some imperishable substances to the university's grandmaster and gave a bunch of them to Minister Wang to take away. Fong Ping had spent more than 10 million wealth points. I can't go out with great fanfare. I have to conceal my aura for people, including the 3 of them. concealing their auras consumes 1,000 wealth points per minute. Fong Ping calculated for a while. Concealing their auras for 4 people in an hour would cost 60,000 wealth points. It's all right. 1 day and 1 night is only 44 million. 10 days is only 10 million. However, if I were to change my aura, it would be 10 times more expensive. Fong Ping calculated for a while. He did not care about Du Hong arranging for people to evacuate. He looked at Li Yiming and said, "Bring us to visit Grandmaster Fong." Li Yiming said awkwardly, "Calling you Grandmaster Fong? I feel like you're talking about yourself. Get lost." "Then if I call you Commander Li, am I talking to you?" Li Yiming shrugged. "Fine, what you said made sense." After a while, in the central area of Shishan City, an old man with white hair and a beard looked kind and sage-like. He looked at Fong Ping and the others with a satisfied expression and nodded slightly. They were indeed giants among men, a few young people in their early 20s. Even if they were resurrected martial artists, it was unexpected that they could cultivate to this level. Although Grandmaster Fong, you looked like an immortal, Fong Ping and the others did not take it seriously. A Grandmaster who ranked 16th today and 14th the next day. Forget it. Don't be deceived by appearance. Although they were cursing in their hearts, they still looked respectful and exchanged a few words with the old Grandmaster. The Grandmasters who guarded the catacombs, especially the rank 9, were heroes among heroes. Many of them guarded for decades and rarely had the chance to leave the catacombs. In Magic City, Old Fan had only left the catacombs for a few months. The other rank 7s and rank 8s were still all right, but the rank 9s could not leave. Fong Ping felt that the reason he was tormenting himself now, thinking about destroying this today, and that tomorrow, was probably because he did not want to end up like this one day. They were heroes, but perhaps only these Grandmasters themselves knew the bitterness of it. He couldn't return to his home, and he couldn't return to his country. Thinking about it was just thinking about it. Fong Ping did not want to hurt these old Grandmasters' feelings. These old Grandmasters threatened him today and threatened him tomorrow. They were probably finding joy in the midst of suffering. It was better if he did not hurt them. After exchanging conventional greetings for a while, Fong Ping struggled for a moment, but still said, "Elder Fong, I'll have to trouble you for the next few days. Try to pacify the people in the city. If any rank 9 pressure erupts, true king mentality, or whatever, that has nothing to do with Shishan City. You just have to guard West Mountain City. You don't have to worry about other places." Fang Yu's smile stiffened. These words carried far too many implications. No wonder Du Hong wanted to withdraw the moment he arrived. "I've heard some things about you, but this old man still believes that you can do everything well." Fang Yu still expressed his trust in them. Going to the bounded zones to search for cultivation methods, whether it was successful or not, was a great achievement. It was not that humans had never thought of going to the bounded zones to search, but every time they did, they would return empty-handed. Some people died in the hands of Royal City powerhouses along the way, some died in the Forbidden Land, and some died in the Forbidden Sea. There were also many who entered the bounded zones and never came back. Going to the bounded zones was more dangerous than guarding the catacombs. It did not matter if Fong Ping was searching for cultivation methods for himself or for someone else. As long as he found it and announced it, he would be a hero of all mankind. Fang Yu did not care about what Fong Ping said earlier. He said in a heavy voice, "Take care of yourselves. If things can't be done, then retreat. Here in Shishan City, there are too many rank 9s. This old man can't do anything about it. However, you can bring 1 or 2 over. When I sense the situation, I'll act in time. Thank you, Elder Fong." Fang Ping and the others thanked him and did not say much. Fang Ping said quickly, "Then we'll leave the city. Be careful on the way." "We will." Fang Ping and the others left quickly. Fang Yu sent them all the way to the city gate. Standing on the city wall and watching them leave, he said softly, "It's a pity that I can't leave. Otherwise, I would have escorted them all the way to the bounded zones." Beside him, Li Yiming also sighed and said, "My grandfather also said that the few of them have brought the fight of martial arts to the extreme. They're fighting for time, fighting for resources, fighting to carve out a path to heaven. There are many resurrected martial artists, but no one is like the few of them fighting and fighting again and again. To be honest, I quite admire them." Fang Yu chuckled and said, "If they can make you admire them, and you're willing to admire them, it's not only their success, it's also your success. Martial artists are afraid that they can't see themselves clearly and recognize themselves. You have a desperate realm grandfather who is neither arrogant nor rash. You can come to Shishan Mountain to guard the catacombs. This is your success." Li Yiming chuckled and said, "If it were a peaceful era, I might also be a hedonistic son of a rich family. I can also do things like fancy clothes and fancy horses." "That's not true. There's no guarantee of life. There's no point in doing these things. Grandpa Fang, let's wait a little longer. When the humans win, when the threat of the catacombs is quelled, I, Li Yiming, also want to do some hedonistic things. I wonder if going out to steal a wife would suit my status better." Fang Yu smiled faintly and said, "Why wait? My granddaughter is in the city. Why don't you go and steal her?" Li Yiming instantly fled in shame. "Forget it. My thick-skinned cultivation isn't as thick as yours. I'll leave." Watching him leave, Fang Yu's face revealed a touch of relief. At the same time, there was also a touch of sadness. A group of young people. They were in the prime of their lives, around 20 years old. In his eyes, this age was a real child. But now, what were these children doing? They were shouldering a monstrous burden. The descendants of the absolute peak were still wandering between life and death, fighting for survival time and time again. Fang Ping and these prodigy martial artists were laughing and scolding. They were having a great time. Were they really having a great time? The catacombs, the bounded domain, everywhere was extremely dangerous, and one could easily lose one's life. The catacombs was not a good place. If possible, Fang Yu would rather the catacombs be devoid of human martial artists and young people. Beside the city walls, a few young soldiers stood ramrod straight. Fang Yu glanced at them, his gaze complicated. When would such days end? At the same time, Fang Ping and the others had just left the city. Capital city, Forbidden City. Minister Wang rushed back and handed the golden ball to Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao took it without looking at it, which surprised Minister Wang a little. "You can leave first." Zhang Tao did not say much to Wang Qinghai, gesturing for him to leave first. Minister Wang did not say much either, and quickly left the basilica. Li Zhen, who had rushed over at some point, saw the situation and said lightly, "Are you regretting it?" "What's there to regret?" Zhang Tao said calmly. "The situation is like this. Since they're willing to fight, I won't stop them. Fang Ping has too much imperishable substance. Is he really a reincarnation of a martial emperor? I don't know. A martial emperor. Even during the ancient martial era, there were not many of them. In the catacombs, only demon emperors were at this level. Everything is just speculation. Rumor has it that the second king had only taken a few more paths. If Fang Ping is really one of them, his identity is not difficult to guess." Li Zhen said, then smiled faintly. "Who do you think he is?" "I don't want to guess. What if he's a demon emperor? He did not betray humanity. Even if he's a demon emperor reincarnation. It has nothing to do with a demon emperor. Fang Ping, that's Fang Ping. Zhang Tao's tone became calmer, saying slowly, "Moreover, can a demon emperor reincarnate in the human world?" "Not necessarily. And I don't understand martial emperors." Li Jun said, then suddenly asked, "Yao Qingjun, is it unquestionable Jian?" "I don't know." Li Jun murmured, "Unquestionable Jian, Hall of Myriad Origins. I've waited for so many years, but I didn't see him. Has he really fallen completely? 3 basilicas. Are they 3 people or 3 origin paths? If there are 3 people, how come there are no records of the other 2? Even those rank 7 martial artists are recorded, but there's no information about the other 2 basilicas. Having lived for thousands of years, it's not impossible to walk 3 origin paths." Zhang Tao smiled and said, "What's the point of worrying about this?" Li Jun sighed and said, "If unquestionable Jian comes back to life, if he goes to Hall of Myriad Origins and retrieves his 3 origin paths, then our chances of winning will increase greatly. Can Fang Ping and the rest really walk a new origin path? Do we have the time? Zhang Tao, tell me, do you want to try and search the entire country? Maybe we can find unquestionable Jian, a powerhouse with 3 origin paths, is even stronger than old ancestor." Zhang Tao shook his head and said, "There's no need for that. If unquestionable Jian was really so strong, he wouldn't have failed back then. 1,000 years ago, the 2 kings were already dead or in deep slumber. He didn't even succeed that time, let alone now. Rather than relying on unquestionable Jian, why not rely on himself? So what if there are 3 origin paths? I'll only take one. My origin path is 10,000 miles long. One is worth 1,000. You're still so arrogant, so confident." Li Jun laughed in spite of himself and said, "The outside world thinks that you, Zhang Tao, are easy to talk to, while I, Li Jun, am a cold person. Little do they know that compared to you, I'm just too lazy to talk. I'm not as arrogant as you." Zhang Tao said playfully, "Arrogant? No, this is called confidence." "Li Jun, you were still influenced by Heavenly King suppression. You also want to walk the second path. Why bother? Isn't your origin path stronger than others' origin paths? How far can you walk if you walk other people's paths? You're not even as good as Li Changsheng. At least he still dared to unite all paths, only walking his own path. You, on the other hand, regressing the more you live." Li Jun was not angry either. He said softly, "I also want to keep walking, but there's no time. At this time, if I walk the second path, I can be 30% stronger. If one day the catacombs are really leveled, then I can abandon one path and walk my own path again. But time waits for no man. Can I keep waiting?" Zhang Tao said with a regretful look, "What a pity. If you keep walking, perhaps you'll be even stronger than now. Why would you need to be surpassed by me?" Li Jun suddenly no longer felt sad. He laughed in spite of himself and said, "You saying so much is still to pave the way for this. Don't measure the heart of a gentleman with your own mean measure." Zhang Tao said, abnormally calmly, "I'm just speaking the truth. If the origin path is really 10,000 miles long, how far have you walked?" 3,000 miles. That's right, I've walked 5,000 miles. Zhang Tao smiled contemptuously. "This is the difference between you and me, and your second path is just the beginning. How can you compare to me?" Li Jun did not want to talk, nor did he want to be entangled in this. He changed the topic instantly. "Do you think Fang Ping and the others can get the cultivation method?" "Depends on luck." Zhang Tao did not know, and he did not want to guess. He quickly said, "Over at Tianan, the Yang family's high ranks have all been wiped out. Do you want to cooperate with Star Town and make another trip there?" Li Jun frowned slightly. I'm afraid we'll die if we go. The void, mausoleum grotto heaven doesn't welcome us at all, and they don't welcome the people of Star Town either. Even Patriarch Yang was suppressed to death. It's obvious. Patriarch Yang, forget it. He's already passed away. Let's not talk about it. Zhang Tao snorted softly. I can understand his choice, and I can understand the choices of the other patriarchs in Star Town. But if he can bear the shadow, then he should keep his promise. Hundreds of years have passed. Can't he wait any longer? At such a critical moment, he rashly entered the bounded domain. Li Zhen, do you know how disappointed I was that day? Hundreds of years of monstrous efforts turned into nothing in an instant. Zhang Tao's expression was complicated. He looked regretful. He said slowly, he guarded Mount Imperial Sea for hundreds of years. What kind of meritorious service? I, Zhang Tao, am ashamed of my inferiority. I dare not be listed with him. But why didn't he persevere? Persevere for a few more years. Just a few more years. If humans were to be defeated, I have nothing to say about Patriarch Yang's choice. But the Great War hasn't arrived yet. Zhang Tao clenched his fists. He said somewhat dejectedly, the Great War hasn't arrived yet. Why do you have to do this? He died in the void, mausoleum grotto heaven. His death is the end of everything. It's not like you don't know how great the impact of the aftermath is. Li Zhen let out a long sigh. He did not know how to reply. Zhang Tao also let out a long sigh. He said, if there are other patriarchs in Star Town who make such a choice, please let us know. Zhang Tao doesn't dare to stop them. He won't stop them either. But at least let us know so that we can be prepared. History will not forget the hundreds of years of guarding. Humans will not forget it. We don't want to end up with a bad name. Li Zhen said softly, don't worry. This won't happen again. Patriarch Yang was also impulsive. You also know that he sat in Mount Royal Sea for more than 300 years. In more than 300 years, there was almost no progress in martial arts. I'm afraid Patriarch Yang is also suffering. We shouldn't criticize him too harshly. I'm not criticizing anyone. Zhang Tao waved his hand. I don't have the right to criticize anyone. I just don't want something like this to happen again when we are unprepared. Tianan, that battle cost the lives of tens of thousands of disciples. I'll say it again. If this happens again, I hope you can let us know so that we won't be beaten senseless. Li Zhen shook his head. It won't happen again. The patriarch has also spoken. If this happens again, he won't sit idly by. Also, tell Fang Ping not to be calculative with the Yang family anymore. Those few from the Yang family can't take such a blow. Yang Qing died in the battlefield. A few of the patriarchs are still somewhat dissatisfied. Zhang Tao waved his hand. I know. This matter is already in the past. Don't mention it again. A few of the patriarchs are dissatisfied. Take care of those from the Yang family first. Don't go looking for death. Besides, Fang Ping killed Yang Feng. It's normal for there to be casualties in the arena. The one who really crossed the line is Li Changsheng. Li Changsheng is half your successor. What does that have to do with me? If the patriarchs in Star City have any objections, they should look for the Li family. Don't push everything to me. If you really can't do it, just kill Li Changsheng yourself and appease those patriarchs. Li Zhen was really helpless. When it came to shamelessness, he really could not compare to Zhang Tao. He was also a descendant of a noble family. He really could not go to the extent of cursing in the streets. Zhang Tao was different. Before this fellow picked up the rank 9 monster plant, he was thick-skinned, similar to Qin Fengqing today. When he was shameless, Li Zhen felt ashamed. However, this fellow was very straightforward in shifting the blame. You should just kill Li Changsheng. Li Changsheng was the one who killed people outside the arena. Fang Ping was not. He had made it clear that he would protect Fang Ping, but Fang Ping did not break the rules. If that was the case, then he had to follow the rules. But could Li Changxing be killed? Li Jun said helplessly, "Forget it. Let's stop here." Star City won't let the Yang family leave Star City now. As time passes, everything will be over. One last thing. Those few brats died in the catacombs. Then they'll just die. Zhang Tao said softly. The road is chosen by oneself. I can protect them for a while, but I can't protect them forever. They actually don't need me to escort them. Maybe you're right. Li Jun said, his brows slightly furrowed. The next moment, Nan Yunyue rushed in. As soon as she entered, she looked at the two of them and sneered. What are you two old things talking about? Talking bad about me? You even blocked my mentality. What kind of shady business are you doing? Zhang Tao, don't fool stupidly all day long. Are you going to sell him out again this time? Zhang Tao's face darkened. Li Jun coldly said, Nan Yunyue, I dare you to say that again. Nan Yunyue sneered. What? You're not stupidly? You can't let people talk about you. How many times have you been sold by Zhang Tao over the years? Every time you're sold, you have to count the money for him. Li Jun's face was ashen. He coldly snorted. Your whole family is stupid. If you weren't a woman, I would kill you with a sword right now. Zhang Tao had an innocent expression. He didn't care about this. He looked at Nan Yunyue and said, Are you sure you can break through? If you screw up, then you'll be in big trouble this time. Also, if you can't break through, then after this, Li Jun can cut you a few thousand times. At that time, don't blame me for not stopping you. Nan Yunyue proudly said, You think I can't break through? How many can you kill? At least 5. Nan Yunyue, you're almost 100 years old. Don't be like a child. If you boast now, it won't be easy to clean up. Zhang Tao frowned. 5. If you really can kill a few demon plants, you can kill them instantly. Maybe you can get some life essence. Nan Yunyue stopped looking for trouble. After a while, she said, If I really have my eyes on the demon plants, then I might not be able to kill 5. That depends on the situation. After saying that, Zhang Tao looked at Li Jun and said, Li Jun, go find Heavenly King Subduing and ask for a subduing character. Li Jun frowned slightly. Zhang Tao said seriously, the situation may not be as smooth as we think. Heavenly King Subduing has taken 2 paths. It's not a big problem to cut off some. If the subduing character is used at a critical moment, it may be able to suppress a few rank 9s. Let Li Changxing have it. He's only a rank 8. If he uses it at a critical moment, he can suppress 1 or 2 rank 9s. If he explodes, he can kill the opponent. The other party probably won't expect Li Changxing to have the subduing character. Seeing that Li Jun still did not speak, Zhang Tao said impatiently, Li Changxing is half your successor, not mine. I'll let him go to the front line later and hold up 3 rank 9s for me. If he dies, then so be it. A half-crippled guy. It's good enough if he can be of some use. Li Jun looked annoyed. After thinking for a while, he turned and left the basilica. As soon as he left, Nan Yunyue shook her head and said, This big idiot. I said he's stupid, but he won't admit it. Zhang Tao, don't trick him for no reason. Be careful that Heavenly King Subduing will settle the score with you. Chapter 660. That's it. Brothers, please support me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Double monthly tickets for Global High Martial Arts. Currently typing, please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.